The quiet one, Brother Kwame. A beautiful vibration goes out to you. To all the Galaxy pilots, management, engineer, technician, and you, the wonderful listeners right across the globe, the one that said Voodoo all the time. To our wonderful supporters supporting us here in the UK, the Caribbean, Africa, Asia, wherever we are, we say a wonderful vibration. Why? Working Action Group, a beautiful vibration, Sister Juliet and all the crew, wonderful vibes. Sickle Cell Cause, wonderful vibration, Sister Samantha. Bringing awareness to the community. Beautiful vibration, Aga, A. Graham and Associates, Sister Angie and all the crew, a beautiful vibration. ADE, Printers and Photography, Riley and Market, a beautiful vibration goes out to you. Brother Delani, Iverton, Tika, Timekeeper, a wonderful vibration. Article, Bird Legs, Rasta Gallery, Riley and Market, alongside the Obia Man, Louis, Rougher Than Rough, Solid Gold, Brains. No more call for them, fam. Big up yourself. Voodoo. I'm telling you. Hey, rise up, family, rise up, you know. Jammers, rise up.
Yes, big up all the callers, the listeners, the ancestors. It's a pleasure to be here with two great man, you know. And a great family as Galaxy.
Edison.
No, greeting listeners. It's all busy today. Yeah, I'm grateful to come here, man. I've been trying to get here for years. It's been about 12 years since I've been on Galaxy, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, 12 years, man. So I'm glad to come back today.
Yeah, man.
Let's see what comes up. This part of the world is my part of the world, and I ain't been here for a long time. So,
yeah. Well, we're there all the time, man. You know, we have a kind of hold the port, you know. You know, we don't hold the port where certain things will happen, you know, see it, you know. But, you know, seeing what's going down, you know, you know, because you hear the call of them.
Yeah.
You hear, you know, and, you know, as I said, we lost a great woman, you know, Winnie Mandela, you know, I mean, you know of Winnie.
Yeah, I'm sad because when Nelson come out, Winnie was gone. Winnie was holding the fort all the time until he come. Then all of a sudden, because he came out on some political slide, because he didn't come to run the country, not run the country for the black people. He came to run the country for the people that put in them. Who goes from jail to president?
And Africa doesn't get rid of his wife, he take another wife.
That's what I said. He got another wife. He didn't take the one that was causing the trouble,
and the
one that was fighting the system to get him out. He took another wife because that's not why he got out. They had another plan for him.
Because what I see Mandela lost in Africanness, because as I said, the African not get rid of a wife, he take another wife.
Exactly.
Simple
but the woman fought for him for all those years, all the time, you know. And as soon as the man come, everything changed. Like,
you understand what I'm saying?
That's it.
Well, you know, as I said, she will forever in our heart. You know, wonderful human being, Winnie Mandela. You know, Jamas.
Yeah, well, I can't say more than what's been said already. It's a great woman that's lost to the community. You know, but yes, we have to always strive forward. That's all we can do. You know.
But they did silence her though, isn't it?
Yeah.
We haven't heard about her from time. No news come out about her, what she's doing or anything. From when he's been there and he's been passed, but nothing come out about her.
Especially on this side. But when I watch like Al Jazeera and all them things, you will see other things that is, you know, you know. But you're in the news blackout from this side. But it's our fault really and truly.
It is.
It's our fault because we should have journalists, you know, on the ground, you understand, you know, in this country, you know, that feeding back to us here, you know, see it, you know, doesn't have to be a Galaxy journalist, but it's a journalist that Galaxy helped to fund, in Conscious, in Migo, all of them helped to fund to put in there that we can bump back, and this is how we should have moved.
That's it.
You
The internet has made the world a smaller place.
Yeah, you are.
So a man could be anywhere, see it, and before they can shut him down, everyone find out what he's doing. So there's nothing stopping us from doing that. That's what I dislike. We're always waiting for someone to give us a hand, like we've got no hands ourselves.
No serious thing, blood, you know, and rise up to Jamal, because I see that the Speakers Club is
back in action.
It's back in action, yes.
Now we're stepping up to the next level now. It's about empowering people this time, giving them the tools so they can become great and release their potential. The first tool is the ability to talk. Your vibration can change your whole environment, can change your world, you know, can get you the girl, can get you the money, can get you things in life just from how the way you speak and the words that you use. You know, so this program this year is to empower everybody with that.
And it is the first Speakers Club for the year, isn't it?
First Speakers Club for the year 2018. I'd like to thank Galaxy for supporting it for the 3 years that we've been in action. You know.
Wow. And to make the listener them know that Sunday the 29th of April, you know, it's the Speakers Club, you know.
That's right, yeah.
And the gender politics.
Yeah, it's a hot one, this one, you know.
The
women said they've been waiting for this one, you know.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
The rise of the superwoman, you know.
Rise of the superwoman.
Are men becoming obsolete? You know?
That is one of the questions.
That's one of the questions.
Are men becoming obsolete?
Is it men or black men?
Yeah,
because some men is not even regarded as obsolete. They're a man, and we're just a version of a man, according to them.
And the second question and the thing.
How can women attain this true power? Is it?
How can women find the source?
The source. That's it. The source
of their true power. That's a good one. That's a good one. Very good one. You know, they may have to go in and win a Mandela Manual to enter.
That's right. That's the key. You can put it right there.
You know, and with that we have actors also.
That's right. From Bat Theatre, they're going to act out 2 scenes for the audience to see and comment on in relation to the topics. And it's all about the audience, because in life you always listen to a so-called expert. You never get a chance to voice your own opinion. You know, so the Speakers Club is the platform that gives you the chance to speak, you know, and say what you saw in your mind. Because nowadays with social media and all the experts, you don't even speak. People go around the whole week, they don't speak. They've got someone telling them everything.
And the beauty about it, you know, 60 seconds, you know, to deliver.
That's right.
You know, it's good, because I'm telling you, you know, I hear some delivery in that, and it's better than you hear a speech for an hour.
That's right. And everybody knows, like when you go to the wedding and you don't stop, or when you're waiting in the queue and someone's taking ages to say get their point across.
You know, it's good because out on the street, any journalist can find a mic in a face, and if you prepare, because I've seen it out there where a lot of us we are not prepared. You know, I've seen many interviews done out there, and I can say that he's in shock. You understand? Because you know, when you get the opportunity to say something, make sure that you're saying the things them that you're bridging with the woman seat. You're gonna say yes. But sometimes I see many of them, they go along to get along through fear.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, see, through fear, sometimes we don't even speak the truth.
Yeah.
You understand?
No, I totally understand. We're scared to express ourselves.
Yeah.
We're constantly worried about what other people are going to think. Yet the man don't think well of you in the first place. So what difference does it make?
You know, I was reading in Shahrazad Ali.
Which one was
the
that?
slave, are you still a slave?
Yeah.
You understand, you know? And there's another part at the back where certain behavior that we carry out, but we don't know that that's a slave behavior. If you come and you saying to me that you're catching hell, you know, and then we turn to you, but you know, the white people they might catch hell too, you know. That means that I'm a slave blood.
Okay.
You understand? You know, see it, you know, because the hell that I'm catching is because of
Exactly.
that. You understand? And this is what's happening to us as a people. You know, if we talk about domestic violence, and we say that, you know, that is the behavior of the enslavement. Nah, it's not the behavior of the enslavement. It's you. And they don't realize. And when I read that Empress book, I realize that some of our people, them, that have the opportunity to address our people are still slaves.
They're still scared. They're scared for their position, scared for their money, scared for their status. And they're ready to sell out their people in order to maintain nothing, because the people still think of them as nothing.
Yeah.
Irregardless. If a man watches you sell out your own people, he's not going to respect you. No? Like you were saying about those cricketers. They're respected because the men know that when the man were tilting, they had to sharp and listen.
That's it.
Not when you get a squeaky man's voice because he's so aware that the sponsors, this, that. Those guys were playing because they knew they were the best in the world and no one was going to take them. But now,
for real, everybody has to say who's going to sign the check.
Exactly.
You know,
everyone's just worried about the money.
Sponsor.
That's it.
For real,
and the sponsor dictates what these people say nowadays. He's a bit too controversial, tone it down. You can't say this, you can't say that. When no one else in the world is told to calm it down, they can come and speak as themselves.
I've seen something that happened a couple of days ago with the Labour Party and the Jewish people, you know, and I'm saying that.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying that. You see how we can get caught up, not knowing, because I hear people say, oh yeah man, somebody said they define anti-Semitic to me. I say you don't have a clue what them talk about, ain't it? You just love you understand, because some of our people, because of the Bible, they love Israel, but they don't study the politics of Israel itself. Some say, oh boy, Israel not the Bible and all that. I'm saying, you're dumb. You understand? And these are the things then. You know, that's why I'm saying, my brother, if we don't open our eyes to certain things, you know, see, instead of we look out there and say, oh, that is an enemy, that is right. Check ourselves, because the biggest enemy is us.
It's inside your
inside
own
you,
mind.
yeah.
Forget it. If you think it's someone else, you're gonna be. You can't be them. You can only be yourself. So they've already, what do you say? Through education, they're 2-0 up. They already started winning. And you're trying to catch up with them inside your own head before you even move your body. You're thinking how they're going to say, how they're going to look at us. Are we going to be in trouble? Are we going to lose our funding? Because that's the first thing these people look at. Then they watch what they say. Instead of us being independent, creating our own money, then telling everyone, look, we are okay. We don't need nothing from you. As soon as I hear funding from any group or what have you, I say, oh, no, I'm not taking part of that, because as soon as that group funds you, they're going to dictate to you and they tell you what you can and can't say. So you won't be operating for your people, you'll be operating for them, covering your people from moving forward.
And it's because there's 10 groups going for the same fund. You know how many information that fund giver get? Because I have to say, what Edison ain't doing, why I should get it. What I'm doing better than in Jammers, what I'm doing better than. So in a way, this fund giver collects so many information that he haven't a grasp on why either.
And the worst thing is, if them people came together and raised some money out from themselves, wouldn't they be a bigger organization without no funding? But all 10 of them are going to be independent and spite the other one. So by just giving one the money, you've divided all 10 of them, and they're half as strong or 10th as strong.
I'd just like to add for that, as you said, in war, the ancient word for war, Anglo-Saxon word for war, it means to be careful, means to be quiet, means to not, means to hide things. You know, means to be aware, words in the word, beware, or the word war is it means to hide everything. And one of the secrets that they use is look at the word fun. They tell you a joke to take your eye off the game. Look at the word funeral. The first 3 letters of the word funeral is fun. So this is what they do. They tell you a joke and they laugh at someone else's downfall to take you off the seriousness of the position that we're in. We get interested in something like cricket when we think we've got a hole in our ship. You know, so this is one of the things.
Isn't the word fund as well?
Yep. That's good. Once you need somebody else to put money in your pocket, then you're not going to go and look for your own.
You're not serious.
It's that thing what them do, because them you take your children to the fun, fear.
And then we want everything to be fair. You know?
Exactly. Which way you going to play?
Why
you're serious in playing.
And then we end up in our fear.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
Same thing, blood.
And we want a fair trial, you know, and we wonder why everybody there's like a loss. And I just like to add to that, there's a book from the Home Office called The Successes of a Negro Movement. And one of the biggest things is that the black man is prejudiced amongst his own self. So as you're saying, it's not the outside we've got to worry about, it's the prejudice that we have within.
That's been deliberately cultivated. That's something in from Willie Lynch, whether it's real or not. That speech was designed to divide people. And as soon as people make a distinction, they still do it in the Caribbean, over the lightness of your skin, the straightness of your hair, treating people in a certain way. So when that is still in vogue and they're still doing that, it shows you what mentality they're still stuck in. The lighter the better. Which again is a damnation on the people themselves, because we can't move forward if we can't join. We all need to move together, to be together, to make something. If you're dividing someone saying because of how you look, that is the whole concept of race again, which is a misnomer, because where you're born is where you come from. You're from a country, not a colour.
And I'd just like to add to that, we're following the mentality of these people. Look at the word clothe. Inside the reason why they put clothes on is because they loathe themselves. They don't like the way they look, so they put clothes on themselves. You know what I mean? Look at the word leper, you see the word repel. So they repel by natural forces, so they have to, and they dislike themselves, and we give them the image of what they're supposed to be like. So when they see a black king, they see what they be lacking, and they have to clothe themselves because they loathe what they look like. They focus on the external, not the internal. And that's what we're doing. We're looking at how somebody looks at us rather than how we should be feeling ourselves. Because when you're walking around in nature, you don't see a reflection of yourself. But now we're obsessed with trying to fix up this external reflection that is not who we really are.
Naturally, and it can be a mental sickness in our way, you know. But because, you understand, because as I said, you know, African don't go and buy tear-up clothes. I know what you see, the African woman and man in tear-up jeans and all of these things. These are a tramp lifestyle.
Yeah, I know.
This is a sick mind. And if you talk about it, some people we want to come tell you all kind of things. But I'm telling you, if we don't talk to our young people and explain to them, but it's not, if it's the young people, them alone was doing it, then I would say, I said big people.
Yeah, but we follow fashion because we've got no imagination anymore. Yeah, there's a thriving African industry with the women in their clothes, but over here, people don't know what to identify themselves.
You understand?
You see that Black Panther thing? Alright, I didn't really care for people wearing the clothes when they said they want to wear the African clothes and all that kind of thing. But if they wore designer clothes there, who would complain? But when they wear their own clothes, all of a sudden people say they're taking it too far. You see sports events, thousands of people every week. You see all these Marvel films, all that, people dressing up. But when the black people want to dress up, it's reflecting they're proud of where they come from. Everyone wants to make an issue.
Well, I understand that, and sometimes there's no continuity.
No.
You know, because sometimes we dress up for the weekend, you know, the African weekend and bank holiday. And the other rest of the time we have the white as a color. You understand? And this is what a lot of people see.
Yeah, but we have to fit in though. Because again, you know,
little.
It's good that natural hair is not coming. And everyone accepts that, because back in the
day... Naturally you're coming up and I'm losing my
But still, what I'm saying is that we had natural hair before, but it's only when they tell us now and natural hair is okay, then we start looking at. We used to wear African clothes before, but it's only when they're now selling it in Harrods for £1,000 that we're running to go against it, you know. So it's when they say we could be black, that's what we want to do.
But that's conditioning.
Absolutely.
It's conditioning from when you're young, because they tell you to not love yourself and need someone else to love you before you can love yourself. That's the whole education paradigm. And as such, we as people, we don't know. Look at us, forgive me, if a man likes to march, good for him. But I'm not going to go on march for the next man to tell me, come back next year, I think about it. That's what happens every August when we do our Million Man March. There's not going to be a change unless someone economically feels different and you boycott certain companies or situations that they have. Those companies will then force some sort of change. But as far as
if you keep your troop in barracks and you don't exercise them, the enemy will overrun you in no time. You understand? Every tool that we have at our disposal, we have to use that. You know, there's many youth can't walk out of the postcode out of here.
Yeah.
So what do you think we use the march to do? is to give them the opportunity to march from Brixton to Westminster. So it's not about, oh, we are look at it now. We are not looking at it after the 1st of August. Our youth, them still can't come out a certain postcode. You know, when the youth come in that march and feel good to marching with the family, we must not. Although it doesn't reach what we see.
That's what I mean.
No, but what I'm saying that let's turn it into another thing, because a lot of people doesn't understand. I'm not into the petition, you know.
Okay, thank God.
I'm not into the petition, you know, because if you put a comp on it, what are you gonna get?
Nothing.
Competition blood.
Exactly. No, I know. That's what I mean. There's a competition that we're not going to win because we're asking someone to give us something.
No. What I'm saying, no, we are asking ourselves first. You understand? You know? And as I said, you know, I need young people. I know young people now that is in Gambia doing things. And if it wasn't part of that march, meeting them on the march and talking to them and show them that there's a better way, you know. If you're here as young people and if you come out on the street, you get stopped by the police. But you want to make it. And go somewhere where you can make it. So these are the kind of structure them that, you know, see, because I don't just go up on the march just to march from day to day. You go on the march to see what's amongst you and what we can do. Because to mobilize is one thing, but to organize is the other thing. I'm not only into the mobilizing, I'm into the organizing. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us use this mobilizing and nothing comes from the mobilizing.
This is what upsets me.
Well,
we mobilize and we all come together, and at the end, nothing's achieved. You're still asking someone permission, which means that you feel that you're less than them. Whereas if you go and, like we say, we took 1 million people, everyone put £10, just £10 that you could afford. That's 10 million.
You know that there's a brother amongst us who have a writ. You know what is a writ? Yeah. For 100 million. You understand? All they need is a community to support him with it. You know? And these are the things that we should be doing, but we don't want to say, why, you know, I woo him. You understand? You know, imagine one from amongst us have a writ for 100 million. And we still a heart by one. We're not support the one with the writ, and from that we see what come from there. And this is what I see out there. So I want to rise up, Brother Carl Grant from CTJ, Campaign for Truth and Justice, who's fighting to where he is right now. And all he needs is the support of his community. Not only his community, you know, but the organization them that's in a community. Then you show a united front, blood. You understand, you know? Show a united front. You know, everybody gonna stop now, oh, we need this and we need that. And what you do tomorrow?
Nothing.
You know? So I understand what you're saying, bro. You know, see, don't other things say, well, I don't understand what you're saying, you know? As an ex-soldier, marching is very good. And that's the only way you can bring a body of man from A to B without stumbling over themselves. The only thing that we're not doing it, because that's some things where a man put on and some man come on stage and then give you all of this rhetoric march and you step forward and backward and all that. What are you building after? You know, what are you building after? And this is the thing. Take these people, organize ourselves that we can do some constructive thing, blood. You know, see it, you know. But I know you have an event coming up.
That's right. Masters of Empowerment.
Where they are.
Down in Camberwell on the 7th of April.
That weekend.
That's the weekend. Next Saturday, so it's coming. At the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse Centre. With Dr. Umar Johnson, Muta Baruka, Leo Chester, and Leo Mohammed. So I remember when it was Leo Chester, Leo Mohammed, respectfully, and myself. And we're going to be talking about different aspects of empowerment. From our different perspectives. But it's great because you won't have that kind of information over a course of night, or one night, or what have you, where the angles are so diverse, but still in the same vein.
That's true, you know. But somebody listening to me say, oh, come down female at the
in honesty, I can't tell you. The actual promoter picked people that she thought that would be able to represent the concepts that she was coming with. Because again, you could pick the women or find one. If she found one that was suitable, I'm sure she would have put in. But again, next time, probably there'll be a woman there. First, you have to build something like this. And bringing them people over is not a small thing.
I know. But see, no matter where you're building, if that feminine energy in there, you know, every town that built in Africa, it built from a woman concept.
It's true.
You understand? But what I'm saying that what we're doing here, we are not looking on the full, the full thing that we have to deal with. You understand? You know, sometimes we run with the same European narrative, blood.
Yeah.
You understand? You know, me man, me boss. You know, I'm telling you, blood. We need, because we have some wonderful women amongst us.
Yeah.
And if we don't give them that exposure, we think we'll give them the DDC.
Well, no, in due course, but each person's got their own little message. This time, I know what I'm talking about is genderless. So what I'm coming about when I'm talking about your spirit and how we need to empower ourselves properly via our spirit, that's not with any gender, male or female, because your gender is something that you choose on the way to this life.
Yeah.
So you're actually the spirit that is independent of that.
Yeah.
So in honesty, the message is what we want to get out first, and then later on we can bring out different people that are going to bring out different messages. But we have to start from somewhere.
I hear you, my brother. I hear you. And the message, as I said, the message is in all of us. You know?
Of course.
The message is in all of us. You understand? But as I said, over the years, it's something that I noticed, it's something that I examine. You understand, you know? We might have a problem. No, make a finish.
Yeah, go on.
You understand? Because from I born till now, is man things that dominate the thing. And when I come to realize that there is a change in the narrative, there is a change in the script, then I yearn. It's a thing that I yearn for, to see that Winnie Mandela back on the scene. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it has to happen now, but it's a thing that we have to make sure that it put up the blood.
No, it'd be there, but you know, there's so many women's circles. There's so many women coming together that they're creating their own exclusive environments where they're talking about their issues and their things. And men are never crying to go into those things because they accept that the women have their own debates and own things they want to talk about. And this isn't a man-only thing. This is really just a group of people where essentially women and those issues are being discussed. If a man is really conversing to the community, he has to address both sides. Because in every sentence that you give, they say that the man is the initiator and the woman is the creator. So he must know when he's talking, he has to speak with that balance, because if he doesn't, the men ain't gonna appreciate it and the women ain't gonna appreciate it. Each time you have to bring, what do they say? The melody has to be with the chorus.
One of the greatest women I hear is this woman in Sharasa Ali.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That when as a man listening to a woman like that, you know, because I grew up with my granny. You understand, you know, I don't grow up. I don't hear some people you understand. And the foundation of growing up with that mother, that nurture, help you to survive in the community. You understand, you know? And what I'm saying that I was a little boy when I see my granny tell pastor, said, you run the church and me run the yard. You know, see? But what I'm saying that today is the opposite. It's outside force around the house and all of these things. Man, there's some the wicked blood. And the truth may I tell you. And until we face this as African and realize that even going into certain institutions and the woman them is the majority.
Yeah.
But it's run by man. You understand? Because the woman does not get that chance. You understand? You know? To lead that thing. Because man ever said, nah, you're a woman, you're the weak. No, how white people talk that? You know, see it, you know? Who are we to define who weak and who strong? Can you give birth to a child?
No.
Well, this is what I'm saying. We are more weaker because I see some pain with some woman have to go through. Look, when you go into Africa, and you see the revolution, they were fight. without the woman them, you know. And when the revolution over, when they got a bump on the top, to go get water, no water. You know, while some of the man them can fly to Europe for medical treatment. What am I say that? Man have picked up some bad habit from these invaders and then become hardened at them heart blood.
Yeah.
You understand? So we have to change that.
Well, you know, each man has to start with his own action. You know, so before you say man, unfortunately, you're not going to convince everyone. You're just going to set an example. And if a man's living in a balanced relationship, then they can look on that and say, yeah, that's something I can go for. But you talk to man, he's not going to hear.
No.
You get your alpha man who believes that he's more sexually prowess, so therefore he's more focused on that than he is on leading anyone or helping anyone. So,
Yeah, but it's good because, you know, the man them that you have in there have some strong woman with them.
yeah.
You know, see, so it show you that also. Yeah.
I'd just like to say, behind the scenes, even though you see the men up front, it's the women that are starting this movement. The women, I know a woman brought me to this knowledge and got me through. There's a woman behind Edison.
Well, this is what I'm
The
saying.
women at the big side, they're starting the seed.
But
They're setting the seed.
The promoter
You know,
is a woman.
Yeah, they're
It's
setting
not
the
a man that's
seeds,
doing
yeah.
it. It's
Men
the
ain't
promoter,
really
it's the
rising
woman
up
that's
like this.
bringing this.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, you have to say everyone's
Well,
got their role.
Well, Edison, we just raise it that the woman and cancer, the man.
They're leading it. The woman's
That's what
behind
I'm
the
saying.
scenes.
So you know that a man. My first teacher said, he said, if you go to any woman's organization, right in the heart of it, you're gonna find a man there. And if you go to any man's organization, right in the heart there, you're gonna find a woman there. So I don't discount anyone's roles because I don't know who's leading it. Who they say, if they've got a president, if he hasn't got a strong wife, it can't control him. Look at Obama. Joke aside, his wife was as strong as him, and he put her right next to him all the time. But you see the next one where the wife is in the back or somewhere, or next country or next city, where again you can see the shambles because there's no balance there. So you know that both have to exist before anything new can be created, and that's how it works. So again,
well, give thanks. Give thanks that you can bring that clarification.
It's a woman running it. Just know that she's doing it on her
It's just
own
like
back
Nelson
too.
Mandela. It was winning behind the scenes. You know, you see the man up front, but you know the man's not going to be no strong unless there's a woman.
That's how it is. A son and his mum don't end.
No, it's a serious thing because, as I said, you know, even our parents here, it's our mothers that do deal with the communication and the wonderful. Although daddy work hard behind the scenes, you don't see it, you know, but it's, she get everything together. You lost a pair of socks, who find it.
Exactly. It's her that organizes everything. Keep it going. So.
Because
But
we see,
both people are
but we're only here because we had good mothers behind us. Your father could run up, and I'm not saying my dad was great, but your father could run up, but we're here. It's the mother that brings you.
Father to everyone, mother to one.
True blood. True. Because them have a saying, and they said, kill baby, give mama. Mama won't eat baby. But kill mama, give baby. Baby will eat mama. And this is what I go on to do. If you don't know yourself, then you will even abuse yourself.
You abuse your mom, you're abusing yourself. How did you come here? You can't deny the channel that brought you here. If you start disrespecting that, who do you want to respect you? Nobody.
So part of this event is the empowerment.
Yeah, it's really the secret, is it to to empower each person, but to let black people know the things that they should know. So what I'm coming from my spiritual ancestral side. So I'm going to let people know the things that are going on within them and the power that they have within them that they don't access, that they don't use. They're sitting there begging someone else for permission for the power that they gave him to use.
Wow.
Yeah? So,
And
go on.
no, what you say are true, you understand? And you can look at it because if a one kick you down in the morning and you wait for them to pick you up in the evening,
That's what I'm saying.
you understand, you know?
That's
But what I'm saying that we can use, we got to know how to shape our own destiny. So what you say is true. You know, we have a caller coming through here. We never walk the land, but if you know what him, we tell you off. You know? You know, rise up, caller. Give thanks, family. Give thanks.
The Galaxy family.
Yes,
Boom,
sir.
boom, boom, boom.
I think we get to the studio now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Brother Edison and Jamaz and Supreme in the wings.
Lovely man, lovely. Brother Edison,
Yes.
seem like you're a very spiritual man, man.
Yes.
I try. Go ahead.
Are you a member of the church, sir?
No, I'm not.
It's all right.
I'm not. My mother is, but for myself, no, unfortunately. Well, my side, I've got two sides in my family. One that were traditional and one that was church. And I am, my nature took me towards the other side, which was just really to explain that we're not really following a religion, we're just following the power inside you. You know? So it's not really part of any church, to be fair.
Kind of spiritual thing I call it.
Sorry? Or what do I call it? I just purely call it, your ancestral communication within yourself. The fact is, like what I'll be saying on the day, is explaining that every time you have a conversation, you're having it with an intelligence inside you. And who is that intelligence? And how is that intelligence working with you to guide you through what you do? Before you even talk or you're listening to what I'm saying, you're having an internal conversation now to see if you've heard it before, if it makes sense to you, and how you can use or what you're going to say next. And after you finish that conversation, then you decide what you're going to say next that is appropriate to the situation. So we're showing you that all along, you've never been alone inside yourself. You've always had to ask a question inside yourself before you opened your mouth. But who is it that you're talking to?
Can I take a thought?
Sorry?
I just said, who is talking to? Well, you're right. No. I'm looking at the new Bible book. I haven't got these things to go by the physical book here, Romans chapter 7. Verse 15. For what I am working out, I do not know. For what I wish, that I do not, that you do not do. Say, for what I wish, this I do not practice. But what I hate is what I do. However, if what I do not wish is what I do, I agree that the law is fine. But no, the one working it out is no longer I, but things that reside in I.
Okay.
In other words, the spiritual man cannot be saved. You can't feel the spirit. When the physical side of man is having this problem.
Sorry, could you repeat that again, please? I didn't hear that clearly. Sorry.
Is that we have a solution and we have a problem?
The thing is, because you don't trust yourself and you have to look into an external book before you can believe your own self, then you're in a situation where you don't own yourself.
True blood.
So from when you don't own yourself, then whatever they dictate in that book is how you look at yourself. Yeah? So well, that's 100%. The thing is, the stuff that we talk about and the stuff that we do, because I teach classes and we show people how to connect to their ancestors, to the people that are communicating inside them. And then they can have a conversation where, when you trust that voice that you hear in your head and you follow it, that's when there's peace in your life. Because anyhow, you're asking 3-4 people the same question and hoping that one of them give you an answer that sounds similar to what you got in your head, and then you follow it. But we kind of show you who you're speaking to and how from that point onwards, then you can literally just go with faith that you have inside you your own backing. This is the problem, because if you don't have your own backing from inside you, then everyone can use you anyhow they like. And let's just say you're born a slave in your own mentality.
Well, you have a nice thing. So I had a meeting about the one time on the first thing at the platform.
Yeah.
With and the youth them come in and we're talking to the youth, and parents and mothers and fathers. Everybody just come together and so on top. Why you bring up over in the class of the deniability? You have to go and research the word. It's about like you say, oh, it's the wrong going on among the children and nobody knows that. Everybody has to protect one another and protect the wickedness. So what I'm trying to say is this, like with the youth, this word class of deniability. It doesn't work in law, but not on the street. It's a gun talk on the night talk on the street.
Yeah.
And that is kind of sad, so coming in the yard. This is why we have to look at this word and talk to the night, this is like you're coming to. But like, you have 1 yard for this fashion, you have 1 yard for the family. When the 2 yards mix up, everybody has a class.
Yeah.
That's all it is, you know, just looking at itself. So it's very easy then.
No, thank you so much. Thank
Well,
you.
rise up, my brother, and give thanks.
I just want to say,
All the time.
I just want to
Right.
say something else on the beat. Basically, we've got to be careful what books we're looking at, because the very book that we're looking at could have been but the enemy's book that he's given to you, that could be tampered with, and it's not written in the original language to even set you free. You have to look where these books have come from in the first place. And the problem is, even that, the book is just a map to who you are in any way. No book can show you what how to breathe, how you can manage the colours, how you work with gravity, how you speak, and how you produce the energy and the vibration that you have already. No book can show you your greatness that you have already. Because if you're lost in the middle of a jungle and all you had, you'll have to throw the book away, and your own instincts will set you free. So you've got to be careful of these books that you read if they're not written in your original African language. But everything comes from Africa. If you're reading it in an English book, then it's not in the original language. It's written by the enemy. That's why that's why these Christians are spending their money and they're not getting anywhere, because the original teachings have been tampered with, and there's not many successes to the amount of money that's been spent in Christianity. If you look at Black Wall Street, look at the difference. When we invested money on our own self, we created our own buildings, our own schools, our own medical services, and just look at the difference. When there was no Bible, we was ruling for 4,000 years. So we have to look at the book and who's tampered with this book before we can start quoting things that we don't really know about.
We have another caller here. Rise up, caller.
Yeah,
Greetings.
yeah, man, I just wanted to say that it's important that we as a people write our own history and not take knowledge of the enemy.
Yes.
Creating conflict, the families and partners and the great women, Mandela Mandela. Now, the enemy will write that one. Not the everything already that's got corruption and trying to kill people, blah, blah, blah. That's their language, right? It didn't affect them. So write our history. We have to write our history, right? And as far as we're concerned, right, this mother is about the ruin of the nation. That's about everybody, you know what I mean? Even though there is still an element of that, the fact that our people are not Tanzania, right? But without her, the liberty struggle will not come into what we speak, what we speak now, particularly, i.e. the fact, the majority of them, despite the wrongs of that woman, right? She was on the key player, right? That is why the majority of that country. So we were always told that mother, now the family God, and for the friends that was coming to prison, it was her, this great African that kept the name of Nelson Mandela alive.
Yes.
Well, rise up for that, brother Kwame. You know.
Yeah, man. But it's important for us because, you know, there will be others out there, even now, that will try and diminish human being, man. We will not allow that. We will not allow that. We will never allow these people to tarnish the legacy of the great woman, you understand? And she's a great woman. I mean, for me, she's one of the great black women of the latter part of the last century, understand? Right? Because without her, man, the struggle and the name of Nelson Mandela would vanish. You know what I mean? So it's important that, you know, this elders, this is our ancestors. We have to keep our legacy alive. And resist all attempts from others out there who want to rubbish their name in the junk of deception, right? In the manner of deception. We'll not allow that. This woman is a great African warrior in the spirit of the Mama Lata swinging finger, finger hand. And we will never forget her role. No place in that position instead. But the country is still under siege by the force of global white nationalism. You have to understand that.
Well,
Even the land in that, these people are ready for war, right? And we cannot allow the legacy of Mandela in particular to allow these people, right, to get our land back. To never allow that. That will be a success. The legacy of what is human forfeit. Understand?
well, brother Kwame, you know, with the events them that is going on now and the people them that is putting them together, you know, those people will never be forgotten. You understand, you know, as Jamal just show you about even the Speakers Club, we're talking about the woman. You understand? And I can guarantee you that her name will come up in many dialogue and argument out there, my virgin. You know, see it, you know?
That's the matter is that we have to give our narrative, not don't for no one else. We have to give our narrative, man. This woman was a hero, a heroine, a goddess, a freedom fighter, a liberator for our people globally. What woman would have just that the fact that the husband was put in prison more than a quarter of the century for most of their married lives, still raise 2 children and still be a freedom fighter and still raise the name of the man on the global level? What woman could do that? Given the environment she was living in at the time, in apartheid Africa.
Well, you ask the question, which woman could do that? Our mother, when them put up with when them come here. You understand, you know? It wasn't easy. You understand, you know? Because the same thing with them that go down, it happened to them in South Africa, the same thing it happened to them here. Dog set on them and all of these things. So we got to know that wherever we are, we have to realize that we have to look out for one another. Hey, Brother Kwame, rise up all the time.
Alright, give thanks.
Give thanks, Brother Kwame, down there in Nottingham. Wonderful vibration to all the Nottingham massive. You know, they could just take a little interlude of music and then we get back with some more reasoning, you know. We are in the house with the man Edison and Jamaz and Supreme.
Yeah, man.
Have to keep on writing the story of the lion. So the hunter gonna be glorified. so yes.
No, I love because there's the story. They have the other African proverb as well. Like if the mouse always tells the story, the elephant always runs.
we have a call here. We could just take this call and get back to it. Rise up, caller.
Rise up, Dr. Aboo.
Rise up, Brother Paul.
How are you today, brother?
Up and down, my virgin, up and down.
It's good to hear that you're alive.
For real.
Good afternoon to you again in the studio.
Respect every time, King.
You know, Dr. Aboo, I'm a bit behind on the internet, yeah? And what I'm going to say, I don't want to stamp on anybody's feet. But something you said, or one of your guests said, just involved my ears, and I want to respond to that.
Yes.
Just clarify, I like the way you responded to the father that he's not into marketing. Well, so good. You know, I'm not into certain things, he's not into certain things. But let me just take this particular argument for clarity. You know, every time I hear that, I'm not into that. Brother, what is your answer? What's the solution? What's the magic solution? Yeah, we put £10 together and we get £1 million, and then what?
Alright, you know what? Truth. I would strip it back much further back than that. Because everyone's thinking that there's going to be one group out there that's going to solve the situation. Or there's a group that we have that is literally, if tomorrow we did raise the money or someone gave reparations, who would they give it to? what group would be able to accept it and distribute it across everyone? The problem is a lot further back in the fundamental thinking of the people. The fact that you have the postcode gangs, the fact that you have people coming together to still ask for something which they have within their power to create for themselves. That, for me, is where we've lost it a long time ago. I tend to deal, I suppose, with the spiritual side, where I find that most individuals haven't got their own sense of self. They're still trying to emulate someone else or be like someone else or buy what other people have before they can feel good about themselves. So the solution doesn't start with who you march or who you're asking for permission. I agree, as Dr. Aboo has put down there, that what he said of the people coming together and meeting, and that be an opportunity to see a load of faces, to see young people, to garnish their interest to try and do something. Even though I don't believe that is going to carry us, even if we got our letter, our petition, as it's given to the Parliament, and every year they say, come back and do that again. And again, we still do it, hoping for a different change, a different outcome. So if we as individuals, I'll always say, if you had a 1 million man march and these people didn't follow any religion, brother, again, you're looking for one word. If one word could fix it, then all of us would be great. We could already create that one word. We could say God could fix it, and then we'd be fine. No. My friend, I was given a simple answer for a simple question. I know, brother. This is what I'm trying to say. I give a simple answer for a simple question. If I was to take that a bit deeper...
Wait, don't talk over one.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, they say sometimes the way you are. No, let me leave it. Let me just answer, right? Let me just answer, because you're looking for me to solve the whole black problem in one sentence, which is not possible.
No.
Yeah? But let me answer best I could. What I would do is, I would suggest that we try and find different schools, pull the children out as best we can so we can create our own form of education so that these kids are not brought up with the mentality that they have right now. Because these things are created in the school environments where they're trying to overcome an inferiority complex, which they're born with. But, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. My friend, please, let's show respect, okay? I guess you have a clue, brother. Please share.
All right, go.
Many people don't just go on the march to walk up and down the streets and Westminster every year, brother. That is an insult. What people do is a protocol. It's a protocol. What it is an order you follow. You follow a protocol, and the law suggests reparations is based in the law, part of the law. Just like you drive on the left side of the road, you don't drive on the right side of the road. It's a legal obligation. And what we're following is a legal obligation. The legal obligation will not last forever. We won't be marching forever. One day, the children who are on that march, they, in the future, they won't be marching. What they'll say is, I march my parents and those who come before me. This is what we're going to do next. They'll have the answer, but they are part of the process. So, brother, when you come on the prior red herring, make sure you know that what you are doing is throwing that diversion. So you don't have a solution. Talk about raise £1 million. But you ain't got a clue what to do with it, bro.
Well, no, it's okay. Because can I respond?
Rise up for that, Paul. Yeah. All the time. Give time for that. You know. The old thing about it. I'm gonna tell you, brother Edison. I hear people come on the radio and them tell people about the Million Man March in America. But when it comes to the march here, I hear people that tell people say they're not in the march.
Yeah.
And I call that a sense of hypocrisy, blood. You understand? It seems like, and some people say, who authorized it? And we say, it's we. You know, it seems like we want something to authorize from other people. And I'm telling you, you know, if I'm not into something, you know, you see if I can't support you, I don't even bother with you. You understand? I don't even bother even critique anything because you understand, you know. But what I support, I advise. And there's certain things I ain't doing it, blood. You understand, you know? I ain't putting down no African that is marching. I ain't criticizing nothing that they're doing. You understand? Because everyone need to do what they are doing, to do certain things. You know, see, and what I'm saying that over the years I've seen people come on radio and them talk about the Million Man March in America, and when it come here they want to shut it down, and I find those things very, very hypocritical.
No, it's just very interesting. Was it Paul that called in? I love his passion, but one of the things that I see in our community, this is my personal view and perspective, is that we seem to get together when we're angry. Right? We get together when we're angry and we march, and we don't think of the next couple of steps. And that's what the caller was kind of trying to get to, like, what would you do if this? What would you do if that? But we cannot, personally, it's my personal opinion, we cannot have solutions if people are in an angry environment, because it will just become a shouting match. It will just become like self-sabotage. So we need to be, my personal opinion again, we need to be proactive. The majority of the times when we get together and we march is because something has happened and we're angry. Then we start making what I class as spin-off groups. And then within that there is the battle for leadership. And we seem to go into sabotage and self-destruct and lose the original reason why we're doing what we do. Now, I've got nothing against what Paul said, but he raised an interesting point. What would we do if we did have the money? But let's not get angry. Let's not get angry about, you understand? Because we're not going to get a solution in an angry environment. Yes, passion, yes. Yes.
This is the thing, all right? I do respect what he was saying. Again, as Supreme was saying, it's how he said it. If we're not having a discussion as men on a level playing field, bringing points, bringing a situation and looking for a solution, I'm not claiming to have all the answers. And the way in which I go about fighting my own cause, I do it myself. I teach my classes, I explain things in a different way. The thing is, I'm thinking long term exactly, but before you disguise the man and say, look, I will hear you out, hear everything you've got to say, bring all your points together, because you know they say there's no point winning an argument. All you do is lose respect for each other. Yeah, you work with each other to get to a joint point where you can move forward and come to a conclusion. So whenever someone is telling me you're wrong or you're there's no point listening, because there's a point where someone is so angry they can't actually hear what you're saying, because that would invalidate the emotion they used in order to say what they said.
And I just like to say, like from the Speakers Club, this is the problem, that they've constructed this language that we start to argue, become argumentative, and once you become in an argumentative state, you know, you talk over people, you don't want to hear the other person's point of view, you end up trying to define a word and everybody loses sight of the cause, which is we need food, shelter, and we need to uplift ourselves. And just in response to what is the solution, because that was the key element of the question, the solution is when we have the mindset that when you hear like Winnie Mandela die, you're not looking at it as separate, you feel it's like you, because you've got the same genes in you. You know, as Aboo said, your parents, you know, we come from greatness. And until we can see when somebody's attacked, I'm attacked. When somebody's sick, I'm sick. When my brother has no money, I have no money. Until we get to that state of mind, we're going to have this dispute. They call you Negro. What's Negro backwards? Negro backwards is organ. Yeah, we should be vibrating as one, but we're letting them play us like a sin.
You know, I want to bring up a old issue, right? But I don't want us to stick on this. I remember going on a march when they was trying to ban reggae artists coming in the country, and I think it was the British Black Congress got together, said let's all meet up at was it the Home Office?
Yeah, you remember?
I'm going to tell you, I thought, you know what? Yeah. Because of one man, what one man was bringing down the reggae industry. I want to mention him name. Can I mention him name?
Yeah, man, that Peter
Tatchell. Peter Tatchell started this whole reggae. What was it called? Oh, I thought that murder music was the tag strapline around reggae. But even Beres Hammond couldn't come in the country. Yeah, there were various even lovers. Jamaican lovers rock artists couldn't come in the country, and they were listed as, what was it, Aboo? Murder music. And I was scratching my head and I'm thinking, but this is one person's, as we use the word, narrative on our thing. And to me, it was almost like this man brought our music to a standstill. I tell you what, I was disappointed. You know why I was disappointed? There was about 200 people turn up. And for the record shops, the radio stations we have, for the infrastructure, this was when Jetstar was around and the whole thing. I thought that was a very poor turnout for the amount of people that turn up to the dancehall venues, to showcases. I thought, this is poor. But the 200 people did make a shout on the noise, and we made our cause worthy of that day. But the same I can hear with Paul, what the problem I saw is what do we do next? Because what I see with our people is that they know we've become a bit too predictable in what we do. And they know that, oh yeah, they're angry, they're gonna make a noise, they're gonna cuss B and C.
But I'd just like to say, and on Edison's side, on this side, it's not what we do next, it's what we do in the first place. And what we're doing in the first place, we're not screaming when we want to scream, we're not jumping when we want to jump, we're not shouting when we want to shout. We're waiting till the next man tell us it's alright to cry. We wait till the next man tell us it's alright to be black. We're waiting for the next man to tell us yes, we can wear African outfits. We're waiting for the next man to tell us now we can have an Oscar. We need to start releasing our anger and our potential and our power, and stop going by what somebody else is programming us to do.
You're absolutely right. And talking about wearing clothes, isn't it very interesting Stella McCartney can come out with a clothing range, right, of African attire and put a higher price on it than what we, the original people that wear the clothing, can. It shows you something there.
But she's not aiming for us.
Aha!
And you see, the thing is, when a thing is weakened, it can be taken over.
Yeah.
And they literally will get to that point where, because again, we're not standing up, or like you said, we're predictable, when we're going to be angry and annoyed. And these guys provoke us to that point, knowing that we've got our violent tendencies amongst ourselves and not against anyone else. There's a simple saying that the truth doesn't need force to be told. The truth is the truth. And if you have to use force in the wrong place against the wrong people, there's no point shouting at me or shouting at anyone like that. Shout at the people that are actually creating that situation. People that are actually against us, not me who wants to join with someone. That's Stella McCartney. They did it with all the different types of music. They water it down to the point that anyone could do it, and then they can claim it as their own, because now I'm hearing people saying Europeans came out of Africa. And I'm a bit confused, because nothing historically has given us that dynamic. But anyhow, go ahead, let me later.
But you see, what they're saying is when they pass an example. You understand it? The things that they're saying, if they don't say it, they don't pass the example.
Yeah, I know. You have to lie. You have to lie to get the truth.
This is what I'm trying to make you understand, you know? Because every test that we take in life is to please somebody else.
Exactly.
So when are we going to pass our test?
We got to create our own test.
You understand what I'm saying? The situation that we're in right now, and a lot of us, we're afraid to accept it. But a lot of us, as I said, we give up our purpose for our position. You know? When we leave home, we know the purpose. When we go out there, you know, we are come back in and we are going to challenge the family with the position we have. You are going to challenge your mother with the position we have, and we challenge the community with the position where we have till you lost the purpose.
Exactly.
You know, I've seen it out there. So when we sit here and we are saying, the man now do that, the man now do that. The reason why the man come up with a thing called equal ops is because it wasn't going right for us. Yeah? So when one of us get a position was to make it go right for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when he go in there, he make it go worse for us. And we don't complain about it. We sit down and we allow it, and if it's a white man in that position, now we have a demonstration.
Yeah.
These are the things. When white people murder our children, we march on the street, but when one of our own do it, we sit down and we say, you understand? We should have come out the same way.
Same way.
And the reason why we don't make these strive, because the movers and shakers amongst us, they're not for us.
You know what, the big thing, I remember someone saying it a long time ago. They said, whenever there's a big organization, he says you're better off creating small organizations that are doing big things than to have a big organization that's doing nothing. Because the first thing you have a man there at the top who literally, all they do is funding. You can bring that,
Yeah.
you know, give him a little bit of funding, and all of a sudden his funding is reliant on him following certain rules. So you don't have to corrupt the whole organization, you corrupt the man at the top by then dictating how much he's going to get for the funding. That's why I say whenever I hear that personally, because I know we could all put a little money together, buy a small thing which buys a bigger thing until we eventually get what we want. It might not be fast, but we'll own all of it. Then to have it where someone gives it all to you, then all of a sudden it's like a man who gets a loan. He doesn't spend it wisely.
Yesterday we have Dwayne Brooks in the house. He's running for me and Lucia. You understand? Some people say it's a wild, you understand? But what I'm saying, nothing try, nothing done. You understand, you know? And if he's running as an independent, and all the others are party failure. So why can't you make that change? Because you see what I'm saying, we sing it, but we don't mean it. We sing about, oh, a change gonna come.
But
and when it comes, you understand what I'm saying? I realize that. They're going to sing it, blood.
Yeah.
You know, I hear people sing in, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves. You understand? Can heal our kind. But when you realize I'm still away from somebody else.
The worst thing is, forgive me, and anyone who's religious is none can help us but our own kind. Our own kind.
You know, see, you know?
It's a case where that book wasn't written where slaves come out of West Africa.
Sister Circle.
Yeah.
Come circle us, ready?
Come circle us.
This a female energy in there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To rise up first, galaxy are always allowing us the space, time, and also to my brother, Dr. Aboo.
Yes. Voodoo.
But I also got Edison, my brother Edison in the studio.
Yes.
You've got DJ Supreme, and you've got the word man.
Jammers.
You got there in there. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Queen. Jammers, yeah, thank you.
I just have to really just rise it all up, and also I want to also, you know, brother Edison.
Yes, Angie, how you doing? You're right.
Very well.
Excellent.
For me, it's about seizing the moment here now, right now, this present moment. So I just want you to call it to honor all of you.
Give thanks.
To say, give thanks that I'm able to hear you all over the airwaves.
Yeah.
And when I'm going to say, Brother Edison has had a great impact. He supported me on my journey and where I'm at now. You know, I think I was one of his...
Sister Angie, just hold on a minute. Barefoot man, turn on your sound. Go on now, Sister Angie.
No, she was one of the originals, you know, Angie. Oh my God, that's a powerful sister, man. Serious. I said you're one of the originals. She's one of the originals, my God. The power inside of her, my God. Come on.
Had a great impact with the teaching in terms of the spiritual plane, and you know, my whole life changed
after I went on, the Know Thyself course,
Mm-hmm.
and it's had a great impact on my journey, and I practice it daily. And I've just heard of it, everything is in us. We don't need to go outside and look for anything outside. We've just got to ignite, that's what we've already got. So a lot of people may see me and think, oh, how did you do it? I do it because I'm operating from a spiritual plane, not a physical. And, I'm not attached to anything. So, I just want to rise you up, as I always do, and just to say that I'm looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you all, my brothers.
All the time, my sister. Have a wonderful day. Beautiful vibration, Sister Angie, And I think, Barefoot Man, you still did it?
Yes, I will.
Mind the Maca them, mind the Maca.
Barefoot.
What brought about Paul Craner about marching and things like that. It does work. But you know something, when you march and things, and the mass media don't report it, it doesn't have an impact. I'll give you an example about this Jewish demo outside Paris. It was only a handful of them, and it was all over the media.
For the media.
You understand what I said?
Yeah. For the media.
Yeah.
For the media.
Exactly.
We have the same. We have the same thing. We have some phone now. A picture you can send it so many places. You understand? And we can use it wisely. But sometimes we just use it to skin out.
Can I jump in here, Boo? Is it Barefoot Man?
Barefoot Man.
What? I like that name, But I find it a bit ironic, personally, that we have an issue, but we want it endorsed by them on BBC. When we should look at the power of the social media and the YouTube. This is why they're buying into the YouTube and the Facebook for the information. We can't expect them to highlight our cause. I find it very ironic, right, that we want to look to BBC for any endorsement, or ITV, or the television. To me, if we look at what's currently going on now, our youngsters go to the internet for information. Somebody mentioned something earlier, I didn't catch it. He said something with gun and knife crime, and a word was mentioned. I can guarantee you, he never went to BBC to find out what that word was. He went to the internet and Googled it and found it, and he learned off that. Now we have to realise that the internet, YouTube, and even though that people might think, yeah, that is our platform, and it's very powerful. But we're looking for BBC. Come on, when anything goes on BBC now, it's watered down, it's edited, this bit is cut out. They put the romantic bits in, or not even the romantic, highlighting us in a bad light to say, look at this. We could have Notting Hill Carnival and be successful. What do you think their newsreel's going to be about? How many arrests? How many get drunk? But when they do their big festivals, they don't. You understand? So, waiting for the BBC to endorse our cause, I wouldn't think that is.
Something that makes me laugh. Imagine what would be happen if we banned the media from our event.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they clamber to be there? The mere fact that you refuse them, say, look, we don't want you to be there, they would make sure they intern in masses. You don't realize their thing is control. They want to starve you. The more you ask, the less they'll give. The less you ask, the more they want to give. That's why I keep saying, if we set up our own situations and our own organizations and claimed our own money and did our own thing, they would be throwing money at us because they want to get themselves in and get to control what we're doing.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Yes. If we don't go to the mass media, they will stand up under the proud and ignorant. They are proud and ignorant because they don't know our cause. They don't know that we've been paying them reparation to the enslaver right up until the 2015. None of them know that. You understand what I said? Are you still here?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Them don't know that.
So they're proud and ignorant if we do not inform them through the mass media. Not all of them are going to go to social media. You understand what I said?
No, what I'm saying that isn't that what others say about us, you know. It's what we say about ourselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying that what
We don't
no
even care that.
no but what I'm trying to make you understand.
The ordinary general public of the UK do not know this.
Yes, but oh, sorry.
What I'm trying to make you understand, right? You know, we invite people to come here certain times, and they will make all kind of excuses that they were trying, and they couldn't do this, and because they have no respect for their own. And when them get to go to those other places like the BBC, and they even go do get a year done, it's a slavery thing, blood. You understand? You know, it's a slavery thing because at the end of the day, we have a platform to deliver to our people, whether it's in the church, or it's in the mosque, or it's in the dance hall. I remember there's time when we used to go dance, the man used to take up the record of the turntable and tell you why I go down. Boy, you know, to Benji get arrested and man, you understand?
Yeah.
Today it's a different thing.
That was our social commentary.
Aboo,
Yeah.
Aboo, listen to this. Look at this what they call it, the program, what is it? The music talent show there. What they call it?
X Factor.
X Factor.
Voice.
X Factor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You hear the reggae music on it? That's not playing our reggae music on all them today. It's the most popular music back in the 70s and 80s. But them want it out now.
Because for them thing.
This is the, I call it farm and coward.
So what you think, well, barefoot man. What you think? You know, said we run that same thing there in a place called Granaries in the 90s. That was our production, our production. You understand? So they come in, sit down and copy it and run it today. You know what I'm saying? That we are the collaborator in our own destruction. You know, remember there's an African saying, you know, that when the ox enter the forest, the tree said the angel is one of us. You know, we got to know that.
Can I?
That's it. Separate.
No, I just wanted to say to the callers, it's Barefoot Man. If you look on reggae music, and Aboo touched on it, right? Reggae music is about social street, what's going on. I'm going to use the word ghetto, what's going on in the community. Man, go on in the studio, and what is that? He could say the roads need thing, the man voice it.
Social community.
Anything that is happening is like a news kind of type of music. They're not gonna put their money behind anything that's gonna revolution us. That's my personal opinion. That is why reggae is powerful in its own right. Right? Look at the legacy of Bob Marley. The words and the lyrics. If we look on, you know, one record that always come to my mind with reggae, and I do believe he got shut down in Jamaica because of what he said, was Anthony B's Fire Upon Rome. Throw away the scissors and the comb. Black people want to go home. Yeah, that is when you hear lyrics like that, they say, whoa, it's all right in Jamaica, but we can't let that go on the BBC and in England. I stand corrected, but I believe that the government banned his record because there's certain records that are going out there that are powerful as a messenger, you know, as the message and the message, you know. So that's what we have to look at reggae music. We can't, if it's on the X Factor, we know even a reggae artist is going to go down there and it's going to be watered down.
Before the man do anything to us, he have consultation with people who look like us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we hear people talk certain things, we don't realize that we are shooting with foot.
Yeah.
You know, see it, you know, we have to ask the question, what is those black people in those institutions doing on behalf of their people?
Yeah.
You understand? Because every time we come and we have to demand, but the man have consultation with them.
Yeah.
These people don't care.
Yeah.
You know, so these people, right, they don't care if the youth them die on the street because they will be in a position.
Yeah.
They don't care if we murder one another because they will be in a position. And until we start to address this thing that some people will look like us is feeding off the misery of us. You understand?
No, they kept their position only.
For real.
Their positions based on putting someone like us down. That's the only reason they're in that job.
Is Barefoot Man
Barefoot Man is still there.
Yeah.
Well, let us put our money, our motor, and support ourselves, invest in ourselves. That's the only way we can come on.
Can Barefoot Man. Boy, you know, I can't remember the year, right? Mark Lamar, Channel 4, Shabba came on it. Shabba's career after going on Channel 4, boom, gone down the drain. They, to me, hunted and was after Buju Banton, but they got Shabba instead.
I can go back much further than that.
Yes, my friend.
I can go back when Gregory Isaac first come on the program and he had to come up his Rasta here to Rocket and come on him and Andrew show to Rocket. You know how many years ago that was? Tell you. But anyway, respect.
Give thanks.
Yeah.
All the media, everything coming out how great she was and how she fought the apartheid and all them things that now they're coming out with it, the BBC and ITV and Sky and CNN. Watch it now. They're all coming out with it now. You understand? Only when she's dead and gone to the ancestors, them a figure up.
There it is. Well, give thanks. Go on. Voodoo all the time. Yes.
Yeah, no, I just was touching on the issue with Shabba and the issue with Buju Banton, who when he made his track when he was 18 years old, Boom Bum Bye.
Yeah.
Now it's very interesting how they have that no selector hardly plays that record no more.
We're not allowed.
You know, would you say it's not allowed, or people are frightened to play it?
But this is what I'm saying. A man's afraid for his own position.
Yeah.
So be that he knows that if he plays that, look how they came after Shabba for saying something against gay people, and that ended his career.
Yeah.
He was on the rise, and he said something like that. That was it. His thing was dead.
Well, what I saw in that show is that he was led down a path by Lamar to talk about it. He never came there. He came there to promote his music, but of course, he took him down a dark way, a dark street, and he ended up in the alleyway, and they got what they wanted out of that.
This is why you can't be reactionary. If you're dealing with people and situations, you got to play the situation so that you can get what you want at the end of the day. You can't behave in a way as just to say, I want to be who I want to be. Don't get me wrong. You can do that amongst your own, but when you're in another environment, it's a game of chess. And you've got to play your way out of that.
I just like to add, Dr. Aboo said that we're at war, but that's the problem is we're not acting like we're at war.
Not soldiers,
We're not acting like
not thinking like, what's the name? We're there, was you shouting at the man who's looking at you saying, I'll have you tomorrow? You don't have control.
I always quote Winston Churchill. He said, in a time of war, truth is so precious, we have to bodyguard it with a barrage of lies.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm saying that. I hear people waffling on that we have deduced in this type of disinformation. Because people can feed you with a lot of things. So we have to be careful where we are saying. You understand? I make sure that you understand, because some young people they listen to certain things and they think that what them a hear, you understand? It's fact, but it's not fact. You know, you know? We have to start to run a thing called no say, not hear say.
Yeah, you know that's very Aboo, you know,
it's true.
There's this thing, I think they call it cognitive bias, right?
Yeah.
And whoever, of course, the media puts out what they think is the truth to control us. I call it weapons of mass distraction. They distract us. And where I saw this talking about weapons of mass distraction, Did they find those weapons?
No, because they were
What
never
was the news? What was the media kept saying about? Was it Saddam Hussein? They were putting out, he's got these weapons, he's got these weapons, and we all fell into it. When they looked, they didn't find it. Remember the MP? There was some MP who backed it, and he went and committed suicide. Remember?
Or the one who was walking along the path by himself. And
I'm not too
decided
sure.
In the middle of the field. And no one was there. No one was watching.
I think we have a call here. Rise up, caller.
Oh, hello, it's me, Chief Akaboo. A really good subject where I'm listening to the two brothers that are chatting. I don't want to get involved in that too fast. What the last man said, he's putting on a very good point here. The media is the biggest mass destruction because they try to commit violence as well. They said things like prison is so easy, right? I was Turkish brother listening to the show. And they said prison is easy, right? So you have your own PlayStations in there, you know, you don't get hurt. And you know what they tried to say about Rambo when he did that thing? They said that they're going to put him in a Kushti asylum. You know, in the Broad War, do you know allegedly what goes on there? Do you know how much needles allegedly they go? They even show you documentary. Do you know how much needles they will put through there for serial killers? You know, and then they say alleged. This is alleged. They say he's dead. You know, because they're not going to let him off easy. Is everyone here crazy? But what they're talking about in these mainstream stations is so bad. Am I right or not?
Yeah,
100%.
The way I say it's true, Berchak, and this is what, you know, I am not fear of death, blood, because the journey that I have to go on. You understand? So, I hear you. What we have to do, Berchak, as a people, we have to try to lighten one another's hearts. We must not leave one another with a heavy heart. That's right. You understand? You know? And this is the way, because this is what the system done. The system leave the people with a heavy heart. And pay some of us to maintain it.
They got good food in prison. Look at this. Look at the life. Good food in prison. You get your own food. You know, you get your own burger. All so great. Do you think it is like that in prison? I mean, I haven't been, but I've heard.
Well, we're in prison, you know, although they haven't seen any bars. So what you think? You think about them give you in good food? Out of them give you a personal savior, and you're still in trouble, blood. You understand? So we can't run with things that people give to us. You understand?
Well, you know what? When I heard about the news of the Iraq, I thought, you know, Saddam. I thought at that time, I said Saddam is a very dangerous man. I didn't know. It's like he's gonna throw this thing gas and we're all gonna die. England's gonna, you know what happened? However, you know what? Saddam was America's right hand man, and then they used him, and then he went. Then they tried to do the same backroom with Gaddafi. Gaddafi had his own fight. He had his own thing. He wanted to let the African Union. The forces did not let that happen. You know, and this is what they're trying to do. Everybody who's not a puppet, yeah, they are trying to take that. That's why Metallica has a song called Master of Puppets. And it says, Master of Puppets, pulling your strings. Obey your master. Why do you think they did that song? Metallica did that song because it means something. You pull the strings, the master,
yeah, man.
This is why the media is so bad, and I was susceptible.
Well, Berchak, I hear you, Berchak. They call them is bagging in and they don't want to back them up, yeah? But what you say, you know, yeah? So give thanks, yeah?
Thank you.
I did. Rise up, Berchak. You know, so you have another caller. Rise up, caller.
Yes, it's me again, Dr. Aboo. It's me again, brother. Listen, Supreme, you know, I must say I'm a bit behind on the internet, so I heard your little comment there. Listen, I appreciate and I must acknowledge the fact that you refer to it as passion. You know, I respect that, brother. But at the same time, talk about being angry. Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you as I see you. And let me make sure it's clear and there's no misunderstanding here. I totally disagree with you when you talk about we can't do nothing in anger. I think I don't think that's right. I think personally, we as a people, black people in this country, we're not angry enough. That's the fact I've had to say, it's damn bloody complacent. We're walking around with our heads stuck up our mind. I think that is fine. And I think to a certain extent, when you look at us, the dog sees in America, you see the same thing, stuck up the rear behind. Because how can it be that you get people, your family, shot down in the street, and you even dare to get up and go to work next day? I mean, how can that be? Right? So when you talk about, we can't do nothing with anger, I totally, absolutely disagree with you. We are absolutely complacent. We are absolutely irresponsible. Right? And that is why this killing and the barbarity of our children is going to continue. Because they have recognized we are the most complacent people in this country. Right? And I watch and observe, I watch and observe our people. I watch it and the shuffling of feet and the big grins and smiles as if that's the solution to anything. Right? We become sambos in this place, right? Sambos, and they know it. Absolutely know it. They know every time they go and choke one of our children to death, we ain't gonna do a damn bloody thing. Because we're not angry.
Hello?
Well, can I come back now?
Can I come back?
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Look, in truth, why I said angry is not productive, it's only productive in used in violence. Anger and argument doesn't actually produce any solutions. So I totally agree with you, but you see, I have to find a way to be angry which is effective. So therefore I know in silence and in power and the things that I teach and the things that I do, where we're coming from a stronger spiritual dynamic which enables us to do things outside the realm of someone who's just speaking, is what I'm trying to get across. My aim isn't really just to be pacify or what have you. I'll be angry, but I'll try and do something to that individual as opposed to just be annoyed and saying stuff and speaking, because we've got a load of shouters and stompers. But see, the thing is, the origin of where a person's coming from is what you first have to hear. And anger, look, the thing about anger as well, as soon as you become angry, you're no longer in control all the time of everything you say and everything you do. And there's almost like a thought comes over you that wants to win as opposed to listen.
You know what we got to talk about?
Go on.
Honestly, and this is a big problem I see in our community. We have to stop analysing everybody else by the way we perceive things. No, everybody comes to the table. And let me tell you what I mean by that. If you look at, for instance, this virgin boss, I forget his name now, right?
Branson, isn't it?
Richard Branson.
Yeah.
How he had his delegation. What you recognise is people's different talents and skills. And we've got to start understanding, instead of thinking that because you're into spirituality, because you're into what you're into, you think everybody else should be into it, or everybody else should.
No, not at all, brother, not at all.
No, I'm just suggesting it.
Okay.
I'm just saying you can say. I'm just saying this is the pattern what goes on. Because I perceive it in a certain way. I'm not asking everybody to be passionate or, as you describe it, angry like me. I don't ask that, right? But what I ask is for people to allow me to be me. And that's what I'm going to demand, and that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be me. I'm not going to be you in your whatever you're into. I'm going to be that. I'm going to be me the way I was made and born.
100%, brother. No one should ever take that away from you. If that is productive for you, I always say, if it works for you and gets you the results you want, then please continue. Because that's what we need. People that are going to do that. If it gets the results. Sorry? Yeah, if it does, then brother, then you go ahead and do it. You see, there has to be different kind of soldiers for different kind of wars. Yeah?
Because this type of arrogance we have, right? This type of arrogance we're portraying on each other, passive arrogance, it's not conducive to nothing. Because you can't tell me to be a spiritual person. You can't tell me to be a religious person. I'm going to be me, who I'm made to be. And that's what I've been from I've been born to now.
And through my life structure, I've had people like you and others trying to tell me or how I should conduct myself. No, I'm going to conduct myself how I should conduct myself. That is a big problem in our community, my brother, because we're always trying to impose on each other. And I think this is a result of the Myafa. I think this is a result of what the experience we've been through, where the slave master had us looking over one each other and stopping us from progressing. He saw one of the slaves jump up. The next idiot would you have on him and say, no, you have to be like me. Plug him into the church and Christianize him or whatever. And that is where it's coming from. No, we have to be who we were made to be by the divine. Right? And you can't dictate that to me or Supreme Court or nobody can. Me.
I hear you, Brother Paul. Give thanks. We have another caller. I think we have Sister Anna on the line. Rise up, Sister Anna, you there?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah, my name's Emma. I'm the organiser of the event coming forward on Saturday.
Okay. Rise up. I get it, yes.
Yes.
You're live and direct, Anne.
Okay, thanks. The programme, it's wonderful actually, and it's great to hear the passion that's coming from everyone. And I wanted to address what you said about having a lady.
There you go.
I can go on there. I'll see you guys later.
I'm just Emma. Yeah, I'm just passing on what the listener, you understand? So just bear with me. Don't shoot the messenger, you hear me? Okay, my sister. Right on.
Give it. Throw it out there. If there's any brilliant women out there, just contact me. I'll see what you've got to offer. And we might have a woman on stage on Saturday. So, anyone out there that can perform a great poem on stage or whatever, give me a call.
For real.
What can happen? But I wanted listening. It was really interesting listening to what you were saying about demonstrations and that. And I just wanted to say, demonstrations don't achieve anything. It might make the individual feel like they're doing something, but the only way we can attack what's happening to us is economic, because the white man does not understand anything but economics.
That's true.
Unless we withdraw our money from their systems, and it has to be, we all have to do it. It can't be one or two. It has to be on a major scale. They will not listen to us.
True.
So it's all right, people throwing in and being really angry, because anger doesn't achieve anything. You can't win by being angry. You actually have to sit back, be calm, and think constructively, and then you can achieve what you want to achieve. So just wanted to say it's a brilliant show. I've been riveted. I was going to go out and deliver tickets. I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
So keep on doing the good work. I just wanted to start me.
Rise up, my sister. Good hearing from you. Rise up all the time.
Okay, thank you. And keep up the great work.
All the time. Edison.
Thank you. You see? I knew there was I didn't have to say it. I didn't have to say it. So.
That's why, it's good for us to sit down and talk.
Yeah.
You understand, because I always say that, I said, it's not unity we look for, it's peace.
Yes.
If you don't find peace, all the other rest of things, it doesn't make no sense, man. You understand? And this is what, because I don't meet in Jamat and say, what going Jamat? Unity. No. I greet in peace.
Yes.
And this is what I'm saying, they shatter, they lick out every piece out of us and left us in pieces. So if we don't bring that peace in ourselves, how can we sit down to even unite?
You know the funny thing, when we meet, we say hello. Yeah? But what the Muslims say? Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
Peace unto you. So that's how they start off a sentence. Peace unto you. Wa alaikum salam. Peace back to you.
We have a call here. Wait at the door here. Rise up. Give thanks, family. Give thanks. Yes, he's here.
Yeah, man.
Supreme Jamal.
Yes, not Supreme, yeah, man. I think Paul is a good point, What we're trying to do is this. We have anger, but we're taking it up with it. Text it out by your wife or 2 man text out in a one crime and postcode war.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with anger, but I did go to the gym and beat a bag or I do what Anthony Jackson don't get a box now. So yeah, you have to do one of them things, but they can be released in a constructive way. Nothing wrong with being angry, but you have to control the anger and use it to positive. Marcus Garvey was angry, you know. When you listen to him last week, he was talking about how you bunch of cowards, you bunch of imbeciles.
No, he was not angry with us. He was angry with the leadership. Go and study Marcus Garvey again. He said, you're a bunch of imbeciles because you're saying that you have all of these degrees and you're still bowing down, begging the man for him to go along. So he was talking to that. You know, all of them was attacking the leadership. If you go back and listen to Malcolm X when he called them Jesse James and Frank James, the black leadership sell out the people, and we must stop free to say it.
Yeah, but people are anger, but you know, we have a channel is passion. I think it's passion. We mistake between passion and anger. And the channel is not the right way, the right things, you know.
I am not aggressive. I'm pressure sensitive. And I don't get upward set.
No, you know what? The funny thing for anger is not that I tell a man not to be angry, but the problem is, and I've seen it so many times, is that it's never directed at the person that is causing the fight. It's directed at the people that are in the fight with you. And that's not really going to be the productive way of getting to a situation. So I've seen it where someone's there attacking. What's the point? Go to the people that are causing the fight. But the thing is, no one goes to them. You're not going to go to the police. You're not going to go to the prime minister. You're not going to go to all those people that are creating the policies and actions against you. You're going to go amongst your own, and everyone's going to be debating with each other. So I don't mind everyone be angry. Look, the fact is, quiet anger is the most dangerous anger. It's not the one that makes the noise that I'm always worried about. It's the one that is silently plotting. That's the one I'm always scared about, because they will carry out their convictions before the one that's made the noise has even realized what's taking place.
You hear that?
Yes, but you know, this is common out.
You see the word problem, Carla, you see the word problem? We don't have the resource and the space to even deal with a lot of these.
That's what I'm saying.
You understand, you know? And that's where we are today. You know, we need more investment that we can deal with some of the issues then that is even confronting us. Because although someone is angry still, they have a valid point, but that point needs to dissect.
You need to break it down.
Yeah, you need to dissect that.
And I think another problem can we make anger is really frustration. You know, where the situation is not how, because we run off limited resources, we're frustrated with the circumstances, and it's creating a level of energy that could be destructive of yourself. Because it's all right, it's no good winning the war but losing the battle. Most battles are won on strategy, you know, which is control and.
You know what I'm saying now. Not what you experience.
Yeah.
So you come out of it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, if you're gonna fight, then fight. Don't be angry, fight.
Some come out with different wives, some people come out in open different situations, some people come out okay. That's why I have to support the galaxy. Just make the galaxy bigger, but the galaxy is supporting all by and let's start to come here and make the galaxy bigger, you know, that's all I can do.
Yeah man, rise up my brethren, rise up. Rise up all the time. And I want to rise up all the people in the Gambia listening at the moment, those people up there in Bakate, near the dam. As now we're talking about that dump site in the Gambia that we want to clean up. We want to clean up the environment because we can't say we have built anything unless the environment is clean. So all of you who are talking about going to Africa to develop, make sure that the environment is on your agenda also. You understand? Because some of you is going back here with the same attitude like Wazungo. You understand? Want a gated community and put a little African on the gate. I'm not into that. You know? I'm not into no little Jamaica town in Africa and no Barbados town. We must go inside and integrate back with our people and cut out these little tribal thing where we are trying to set up, you know. And I'm saying that, you know, to all the Pan-Africanists that move over here, start to open up some Pan-Africanist in Africa. That's when people visit Africa, they have a point of reference. Because the talk when over here, it doesn't fit. You understand? You know, you got to pay a damn talk. It's full time to start to do certain things now. You understand? Because the young people are coming up. And then here, you see, you can say all you want to us the adult. But the young people need action. You know, they need to see something structured out there. You know? And the beauty about it, when we were young, things were structured. You know? That's why we are here today. And we're doing our best to make sure that things are there structured, that those that is coming later can have something like that. You know? So the work where Edison is on and the work that Jamas is on, you know, it's just a few. But if we put everything together and we come together, we can do mighty things. Mighty things, you know, see it, you know? What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play an interlude of music and then I get back to you. So a beautiful vibration to you, and you. He said to the people and said, throw away the image of the oppressor. Throw it away because it's gonna whisper in your heart during the time of your liberty. You know? The only battle, the only victory we have as an African people outside Africa is in Haiti. You know, see, and we don't learn from it. You know? What I'm saying, why I say we don't learn from it, you know? You ever hear this song here, I fly away? You know that song? It's a reality, you know? Mm. When I used to put the ATM on the fire, you know, a bird used to come out of the fire, you know? Did you know that? Yeah. That's why, you know, there's a certain power within certain things, you know. The 80 revolution, you know, never won by just musket and gun. No. It's won by even the creatures, the snake, strangle them there, you know. So just imagine.
Nature.
Just imagine. We setting up organization and forgot our African spirituality. Why you think even the Gavi movement go down in decline? Why you think the Nation of Islam going down in a certain way? Why you think all of them? Because all of them ignore the African spirituality and take on other things. And the truth may I tell you, that's why we are in the quagmire that we are in today. And we can never get any victory out of none of them until we incorporate or resurrect our African spirituality. So what the brother says is so right.
What did Marcus Garvey say about a tree with no roots?
Yeah.
So, but then if you have no ancestral roots, what are you standing on? You got nothing. Your mind is coming from nowhere. You got no power coming from inside you, and all you're operating on is someone else's opinion of you.
For real.
And someone who's stolen your story, stolen your reality, stolen all the great marvels that you've done now belong to him. Mm-hmm. So the one who's, what do you say, the owner is now begging the thief back for his things. So how is the thief going to give anything back to the owner? Isn't that a reversal of things? That would never happen.
Well, that's what I said, the 80 revolution. I'm riding on 80 paying the price. You know? And I don't hear no cry out. You know, these are the big cry out where I never hear Oprah once walk in out and say, well, go on, him to the Haitian people against the American. And everybody a big up Oprah. How great Oprah is. Oprah is an African woman. And she should have used that energy from her home to help heal the place and stop being a damn TV presenter. You can't make a position take you away from your purpose. No. You understand? And this is where we are today, because we're looking at these rich people. They're not wealthy, you know. Oprah is not a wealthy woman, you know. She's a rich woman. It take a wealthy man to sign her check. So go and see who signed her check. Before we start, I want our children to be like Oprah. We want them to be like that. People who is void of their own African spirituality.
That's right.
You know, see, you don't hear them and say, oh, be like your granny now. No, because your granny never put up on TV. She not qualified. No. And the quality of our granny and grandfather is so unique that if we resurrect those things, we'll be better off today.
No one wants to listen to the poor elders. They only want to listen to the rich one that is working for somebody else.
No, it's true, blood. It's true. And I always say it, and I will forever say it. You know, the greatest people that I ever know is my mother and father and those who come to this country. Yeah. You know, I may read about some great people, but we are talking, I must act on what we know. For people who have so little and do so much. You know, see, look what we can do. You know, see, because we are from those people, you know. You understand? But see, today, because of the Stockholm syndrome. No, I truth me, I tell you.
No, it's true. They educate it out of them. They didn't have to do anything. They educate it out of them. So they water the child's mind down so the child now doesn't know who they are, is not respectful of where they come from, and doesn't want to have anything to do with his original power source.
No, the way it comes, you know what brings me to that is when I read Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation. I said that, and I'm saying that how comes every organization, every black organization should have one of these books. Yeah. Every black home should have one of these, because what it prepare you for your children going out there in the world. Because a lot of us, our children leave home to university, but we don't brief them. I'm telling you, I am. Michelle go to university and come back as Michael.
Yes, comes back better. Better, less prepared for life. According to the West, she's better than an educated or uneducated primitive. Yeah? Prime motive. The original people that were working with the original energies, and they worked in harmony with their environment. Those people that could talk to the trees, speak to the animals, literally knew how to grow this, would sing to the actual trees. When they're singing, everyone say, why are they singing? Because they know that the plants are growing faster and stronger because they're singing, and they're singing in harmony with them. All those old sciences left. Now all a man has to hope for is a little bag of money.
Now you see it? And this is what we don't realize, that the more we get, what the word means, the more we get certified.
Literally, isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, the more we get certified by them, it's the more crazy you become.
Of course.
You understand? Because you have been certified by a psychopath. The only thing that psychopath is authorized.
Well, he authorized himself.
Yeah,
you know?
tell you.
That's it.
First man to have a degree was given to him by someone who didn't have one.
You know, check it out, brother. Check it out, right? The people who said that they want to be world police. You have seen what they have done to the world.
Exactly.
You know, see it, you know, and nobody said on there, yeah. The people that we know is the ugliest on the planet want to even set the standard of beauty.
Exactly.
And then we follow. Exactly. You know, see, so we end up like the king with no clothes.
That doesn't recognize that he's the one that has everything. Everyone's trying to be him, and even put on clothes to look like.
To look like him, isn't it? You know, we get another call, rise up caller.
Yes,
rise up, brother Kwame.
That thing about our earth is so true, and many of our young people, some of our misguided young people to boot, are not aware of the great sacrifice, and I'm just going to term great sacrifices that our elders made.
Yeah, man.
Some of them, some of our elders, when they first came here, they were in their teens.
Yeah, man.
Very up to their teens. Very up to their 20s. And to come to a foreign land. Yeah? A foreign land that invited them to come and help rebuild the country after the Second World War, in which we had that war was not together in a certain way. So our elders, our young mothers and fathers, left the Caribbean, left Jamaica in particular, came over here. I think it was about 3 months. 3 months. Think about that now. You are a young person, late teens, late 20s. You couldn't just come to England, but you've never been there before. But you're in a ship. That country go by air. You have to get by ship. 3 months. in a ship. How many of us could stand in a ship for 3 months? 3 months, beloved. And then when they came, rather than have gratitude and servitude, or gratitude rather, they were called nigger, cool, walk, go home, no black, no nigger, no Irish. Our elders struggled to get proper accommodation. We take it for granted now that we've got central heating in our houses. Our elders, now study this history, our elders have paraffin heaters, man.
Yeah.
They have to buy, they have to go town and get kerosene and put on a paraffin heater on. They didn't have bathing that you and I take for granted, especially our young people. Listen to this. You young people, right, got your shower and your bathroom, right, you know what I mean? Our parents had to go outside to get the bath. And it was cold as well. It was pissing cold. Right? And they had to suffer enormous indignity at work, which is even worse than what we have today. They work sometimes 15 hours a day to help this country get on its feet and to get a look of money to send for their kith and king back home in the Caribbean.
Yeah, man, them I run 2 women, one at the Caribbean and one here.
Yeah.
Mighty people them.
And also
Mighty people them.
you know, they were doing 5 things. They were working. They were sending money back home. They were getting people back home. And they were even raising children here, man.
Because, brother Kwame, it was in their genes enough to migrate, you know. You know, we are people who migrate, you know. We just get caught up in a thing called immigration from migration. You understand? Immigration is totally, you know, and our people is very adventurous. Because they never know where they were coming.
They didn't come as the myth has and a number. They did not choose to come here. They were told to come here. You need our labour after your white cousins, your white German cousins, blew this country to be green, or tried to bring this country to be green. So you need our help. So they called our elders to come to circle Mother England or Mother Britain and help us rebuild that wall, this country.
And then bring some of us here, even go back to Africa and humiliate even the West African, to then call it the West Indian Regiment. It's one of the most, brainwashed group in come out of where them use them. And some of them proud.
I don't know about that, but that's a point that you make.
You understand?
I'm just one thing I don't understand. The huge
When we talk about them things that too.
leaving you to walk down the street without any harassment. You understand?
Well,
And we were better off when our elders came here, contemporary history, in the 40s, 50s, 60s that we are now. They had the community, they had the sense of community because they knew they had a common enemy. So they put their resources together, they did partner, they bought properties. Right? They organized themselves in a way that they were able to sustain themselves. You know, I remember speaking to Colonel Mitchell, one of the oldest African, Caribbean, Jamaican service owners in Nottingham. Right? He established a first shop in the UK, I think it was about in the early 50s. Right? And we had that support from the community, right, to enable Colonel Mitchell to open 2 or 3 other shops in Nottingham.
Them day we never have nobody in the police force, we never have nobody in the council. So you see how we get things done. So that means that something is wrong. Something is wrong. Because what I'm trying to make you understand, God, right? And some of us are fail to deal with the fact. It's not like that we never sit down and work out our business plan of what we want to do. But some of the people who sit on that board with us, is them today working for the local authority, and they take all of that information and the local authority checkmate the community with it.
Yeah.
A lot of them will sit down in a certain group. They are now working for the local authority and them sell out the community.
In Nottingham, right, after the uprising in the 80s, some black people that I know of, that I know personally, right, they were given, him and language, they were given jobs, right, and they use this business right to checkmate the community from rising to getting their just demand. So what they did, they put them in the housing, social services, this place, that place, to appease the infecting of the community to saying that we've got now the people that you want in these positions, right? Shut up and get on with it.
And when they think they were coming to assess you, they wasn't going to come in to assess you.
They were assessing the situation.
For real.
They were assessing the situation there, right? We could have taken this country by the, in the 80s, man. They were assessing the situation, assessing. They could, it was something that they could not win. They knew they could not win that party. So what they did, they assessed the situation. And they fought off.
Supreme want to say something.
You know something? Before Dr. Aboo came on and done your show, there was a sister having a show.
Yes.
Empress Oracle.
No, Culture.
Culture. She mentioned something about the equal opportunities or equal rights Act 1987. You know when that came out? After the Broadwater Farm riot, right? And the reason why that came out is that they realised a lot of unemployment, and they used similar. It's a tactic that most of the, you could say, the kind of leaders at the time got token jobs in the council. So they got controlled by this equal opportunities. Equal opportunities. There was a time after Broadwater Farm rights, you could walk into a job as a black person because they realised, hold on, these people are, I'm going to use the word fairer, right? How do we control them? Give them a job. Once they have a job, they start paying bills. But I looked at this thing, this is how I got my job. And at the time, I was vexed and angry. So you realise, when I seem to see there's systematically, anytime there's an uprising, they seem to bring out diversity, or they bring out something as a way of controlling us.
You look at the situation in Brixton, Top Step, Broadwater Farm. Who benefit from that? Church and politician. Black church and black politician. Nobody else benefit from it.
Even in Nottingham, I have to go fight in 2011. So we burned down the police station. We burned down the police station in Nottingham, right? They appeased them a bit by giving the black councils, like they give them a grant.
You may tell you? You may tell you?
Shut us up. Because the youth were angry not in that time. Right? And we burnt down one of the main police stations, Cannon Circus police station in Nottingham. They burnt it down to the ground. Right? And they knew that if this wasn't put in check, right, so they did their assessment like the elder thing. They did assessment on this, right? This is that if they couldn't nip it in the bud, happen. So what they did, they bought from the council of banana. I won't name them right now, but they know who's going Nottingham. They bought them up, right? Oh, we're going to give you a little more, right? For Block Achievement, we're going to give you a little more, right? For Block Achievement Award ceremony, right? And when they did that, right, that shut up, right, the youth, right? And then he's going back to bed. And I understand what's coming from. He's angry because we are so gullible, naive, and complacent that we don't know the game. We don't know that we've been playing.
Thank you.
And I see there's lots of angry young people out there because they have been lied to. You know, and they have lied to in such a way because I hear black people say to black people, I'm going into this to change it. I hear that. We ask them, why are you doing that? Well, I'm going here to change it. And when I meet them a couple months later, they argue, why, you know, I said, it's not black people alone, they put me in here, you know. But, you understand, this is what, what you hear out there. You said that you are going into that place to change it, but it changed you. You understand?
Of course.
You know, I see black people will leave the black community, know what the black community was all about, and come back in it and tell them about alternative lifestyle.
Of course.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well, look, the thing is, people are ready for the revolution as long as they don't give up their iPhone and everything like that. They want to go in with the same creature comforts, house, all these things that they built into their life. So you get into a new job, someone's going to give you better money. You're going to have a better lifestyle. You're going to then, as you are brought up, to reflect your wealth as your development. Success is only financially measured, not spiritually or intellectually measured, financially measured. So now you're in a scenario that you have more. Everyone's looking at you in a different way. Then someone comes up to you and says, oh brother, remember what you said back in the day, that you was going to help us out? He goes, oh brother, look, these things take time. Let me secure enough money so I feel secure, then I can come back and help you a little more. Otherwise, I'm going to stay in a scenario where I have to keep them people happy, and you don't realize the hard job I've got keeping them happy and then keeping you happy. I'll keep them happy because my family's happy. You can't knock a man for that. I understand.
No, you can't knock a man.
An individual, you can't. But then again, you appreciate. What do we say? You don't give money to a man who's hungry. Because he's not going to hold on to it. He's going to spend it.
You don't put alcohol behind the bar.
Yeah?
Also what?
Exactly. So you put a man who's coming from a hungry place and put him in a place where he's got plenty. Don't ask him to come back and be poor again. You know?
You know what? I just want to mention something. I may be backtracking. I'm kind of was based around in Hackney. And in Hackney, right, there was a lot of youth clubs. And then what had happened, they spent, I don't know if anybody knows the Ocean. Remember the Ocean? The Ocean originally was a library, right? They spent from funding, and this is why I realised we have to be on board. 24 million on a conversion. They never knock it down, you know. Converting a building as a music venue for an educational charity for youngsters. What had happened when they spent £24 million on it? All of the youth clubs in Hackney closed down one by one because they're saying we've got this flagship Ocean. Ocean is not there no more. You notice that? But one of the issues that came up, because I was doing a lot of youth stuff in the community with the youth club, I went there one day. There was an event called Step Up to the Mic talent show. You know, they wouldn't let the youths in. And I find that ironic. It's a youth charity pays the money to for a venue which is converted as a library, wouldn't let them in, so they're on the street. So you know, they actually, the youth come to me and said, "Excuse me, sir, can we come in with you because we're not allowed in the venue, not unless we go in without an adult." And I found, what kind of nonsense is that? But the thing I see is that the gatekeepers of the money is the people that we want to be, right? We want to be the decision makers. But what these people do is exactly what Aboo says. Is that we'll go on and say, yeah, you know what? I think talent shows, bam. They seem to know the language, the linguistics. That's why we need man like jammers to get the money. But they will employ us to front it.
Of course.
Now, the Ocean now, what is it now? It's trendy. It's now turned into a trendy cinema. So we realise, well, what was going what's going on with our venues? When the Ocean came out, it gave Hackney Empire a problem because everybody went to the Ocean for, you know, for gigs. Artists was going in there. I'll give you a joke, and I'm talking about back then. I went to see Sizzler and it was £30, and I was like, what? But this is a subsidised venue. Why am I paying £30 to go in? Now I don't want to slag off anything that people doing as promoters and stuff, but another venue which tomorrow there's a meeting that I find that I can't understand, no disrespect to Bernie Grant, is the Bernie Grant Art Centre. I do not hear any cultural events at Bernie Grant's Art Centre. When was the last time you heard anything cultural at Bernie Grant's Art Centre?
They don't want that in there.
But then the next problem I have, because I'm from Tottenham, and we have to realise that the gatekeepers are not us. Marcus Garvey Library. If they had the chance, they're going to take down that name. We have to realise that these things are what was initiated for us, but now they're changing it.
No.
It's
changing it.
For us? It's to appease
Brother
us.
Kwame,
Right.
Alright, okay.
It's very interesting because there's a brother I want to interview, Marcus Knotts, who is Mark Duggan's friend. Since that incident uprising after what happened with Mark Duggan, the amount of money that's spent on Tottenham High Road is unbelievable. Places that didn't need the money have got the money. You know, one thing I noticed, they invested more money in buildings than the people.
Yeah.
Check out Tottenham now.
Of course.
Tottenham, in Haringey, Tottenham, it was going to be the largest sell-off of social housing. Broadwater Farm, Northumberland Park, Noel Park was going to be the largest private investors taking the stake of social housing. So I kind of look at the psychology. They're letting the youths run wild around there so that people accept it. Mm-hmm. If you go there, there's like a no-go area in certain places at the moment.
If you remember, a group, this kids company, what kids company have done to our children in London.
Yeah.
You understand? If it was a black, if it was a black group do that, right now they will be in prison.
Yeah.
You understand? And them allow this Iranian woman to come in and manipulate our children and turn them into criminals and then move on to other places.
It's a plan. It's
you understand? You know?
plan.
Where is our black MPs? Where is our black council? Yeah. Where is our black lawyers? Where is our black professional to put things together? And so we need an inquiry into this. They all sit down. What I'm trying to make you understand, my brother. Here we are talking about the things that affect us. You hear any professional phoning in and helping in this reasoning? But later on, when them run them like a workshop,
give the money to him, innit?
Yeah. When them run them workshop, them all phone him Supreme.
Yeah.
Them all phone him Thomas. Them all phone me. Because what they do, they're hustling the community. Exactly. There's a lot of people in our community. They can't come to an event. So sometimes they sit with the radio and get a little information and things like that. What I'm saying that the so-called doctor. When in our community we are talking about that, he's a psychiatrist, he's a this, he's a that. He does not support the community. Yeah. He supports only his pocket, and we must stop and big up these people.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You know, see, alright, I'm going to court. Galaxy is going to court the 23rd. You understand? We need these professionals.
Thank you.
They're using the station.
Yeah.
You know, see, they come here, they use the station. And if you ask them, could I get you as a witness? They make so many excuses, and you realize, I'm glad you said that, because I would not like to bring a coward in court with me.
Yeah.
You understand? Because this is what they are. They are a bunch of cowards. They want to call themselves the great this and the heavyweight, but you're not heavyweight enough to go and stand and talk in front of a judge to talk about the issue them that affect us. That's some of us is facing today. You know? This is what Galaxy is facing. You understand? And people are using Galaxy, but they don't want to support the station.
Thank you.
And I call them professional. I have no respect for none of them. And I go away. You understand? Because I give thanks to the people. The normal people like Supreme, Jamas and yourself and those that come in and support
grassroots.
And do what I do with that. These professionals is the biggest problem that we have amongst us, because they feel like they're better than.
Exactly. Because another group has accepted them, so they're elevating above us.
Sorry, because I'm passionate about certain things. And it might come out like, well, we were talking about that about half an hour ago. There was a group, very interesting. Like, I'm on another radio station. I got a call from a group. Got funding to do something in Haringey. I'm not going to mention their name. Yeah. Rice and peas was on the table. That's all I'm going to say. Caribbean food was on the table. So I was endorsing. I said, yeah, but you know, because of the situation in Haringey, this group is setting up mentorship. And when I looked on it, and this is the interesting thing, something told me, go on the internet and research this group. This group came from Brighton as a service provider for Haringey. I said, hold on a minute. What do you mean? What's going on here? So what happened to the grassroots people in Haringey that normally do mentoring, normally do youth work? And then I read a little bit more. You know? This group, doctors and psychologists and all kind of thing. Now, what they done, because I rang them up, is asking me and our community of Haringey, they will run the workshops to train us. Right, they're getting paid for us to do it for free. Yeah. So I said, you know, I'll go quite a few meetings, and I put my hand up. I said, you guys are taking the pee here, you know, because you getting paid to. So why can't we be the service provider? Because you've got this thing. I didn't want to bring race into it, but they were smart enough to say, let's put rice and peas on the table
to catch you.
Food. Yeah, I'm telling you. When I look, not one of them service provider didn't look like me. And I'm saying, and they come from Brighton. So I said, how do you know the cause of Haringey?
Don't need to.
You know, if you're a resident, to me, if you're the resident and you're in the borough, you should be employed, or not even employed, you should be in that structure, what goes on. And a lot of the times, this is what I'm seeing, a lot of people, you know, when the riots, the march, a lot of the vultures came out who already know the linguistic, the language, and that's what I like. You see, Brother Jammers' event, right? I'm not a linguistic person, but Jammers with this etymology has got me on some searching for some words. I'll tell you why, Jammers, you know, this, when we go and talk in certain areas, we have to be articulate. We can still be grassroots, but we can't be angry, you understand? And there's certain things I learned from Jammers, like in English literature, like the alliteration and similes. There's certain things that when you have a conversation or you're going to do public presentation that you have to bring to the table, you know, or you have to come over in their linguistics, you know, to get your point across without them summarising, oh, he's just angry.
Get your breathing,
you know what I mean?
Pray get your breathing right.
Yeah. So,
feet, you know?
Jammers the Speakers Club, he's talking about gender politics, the coming of the superwoman. This is the topic Jammers is bringing. Are men becoming obsolete? Question number 2, how can our women find the source of their power? And this is Sunday the 29th of April 2018, and this is actually going to be at the Bernie Grants Centre. And I have to shake Jammers' hand on this, because as what he's doing, they're charging premium West End price down there, and this is tomorrow, there's a meeting down there. Why is it that grassroots organisations are not using the Bernie Grant Centre? Is one of the questions that is going to be raised tomorrow, right? Sorry, Sister Emma rang in. Emma, I can vouch for Emma as a promoter from back in the day. Emma's promotion was one of the Lovers Rock champions, and that was the last time we saw Gina the Bambo perform as an artist, and it's videoed. You know, that's another thing. Our people are not archived properly. They've gone, and there's no written, no video, no. So you know, that's something that we have to look into. Talking about, she said also when she mentioned, she called in. If there's any women out there that we can tell. There's a sister, I think she's on this station, I'm not too sure. I went to the Mart Arts Centre and she was talking about vitamin D. Her name's Brenda Lee. Scientific cultural racism. And when she broke it down, I said, what? She only had 90 minutes, right, to do her segment. I think she could have done the whole session for the whole night, because it was so, the points that she was raising was so on point, and I think she's a person that should be personally on the empowerment. Me personally, seeing the way she broke down how we see things through a paradigm. I'm going to ask Jammers to break down what a paradigm is through education, through the church. She talked about what is science, scientific racism, how does it fit into nature, overarching frameworks when it comes to research, because we have to find the principles of research when we're coming to deliver. Sorry, Aboo, but she brought out something. I haven't read the book, but there's a book, I just quickly researched it before I spoke about it. The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. It's a book. I just quickly looked at it, and for people, you don't, I shouldn't say this, you don't have to buy the book. I've seen that you can download the PDF file. I see that you can go on YouTube. So the sources of getting information is there. But if it wasn't for, what's her name, Brenda Lee on Saturday bringing this to my attention, and that's what I call empowerment. So Emma, if you're listening, I think there's quite a few sisters that I can actually mention that I think are up to par with yourself, Edison, with yourself, Muta Baruka, with Dr. Umar Johnson, that are on par with you. You know, we've given that empowerment. Yes, you know, it's you know, that's my piece.
Rise up, caller. Are you there? Brother Kwame, I lost you. Yeah, rise up, family, rise up.
It was in the way of breaking news, but you may have already
Yeah, man, Mama Winnie.
Okay.
Give thanks. Is there anything else you want to put in the program?
It was just that way.
All right. Well, rise up, my brother. Have a wonderful day.
Sorry.
No problem. Man. Respect for that.
That's
Rise up to the bridge. We can just say if Brother Kwame, you still there? No, we lost Brother Kwame. You know? We lost Brother Kwame. He do this time, Brother Kwame Ose. We have Brother Kwame Ose. No, we have Gwanja.
That's right, you mentioned vultures and you mentioned breathing. This basically, they've taken our ancient science of the nature, which is the science of who we are. So basically, the vulture signifies our creativity, because the vulture takes the food before it becomes oxygen. Basically, we have the power to create, take death and make life, because when you eat a dead plant or a dead animal, you turn it into nutrition. So we have the power of creativity. Now the vulture has the most powerful stomach and immune system on the planet. It eats dead carcasses, it eats rabies, it eats disease. What happened is that they found the vultures were dying in India due to dioxyphenac, which is what the vets put in animals. The vets put these in animals and it's killing the most powerful planet. The most powerful animal on the planet. They banned the drug in India, now they're selling it over the counter in the UK to us. See, this is how they corrupt us and take our sciences and feed us back the rubbish, and now we're eating, we're using it. It's used in painkillers and it's used in headaches and it's used in inflammatory. You know, so we're losing our contact with our ancient nature science, and we're taking on infected behaviour from these people.
Really, you know, Brother Kwame is still here, my brother. You know, give thanks for hanging on and holding on. You know, you're a wonderful soldier, my brother. You know, give thanks that you can right from Nottingham. You're still joining us and everything. And it's no matter where we are a global people.
That's right.
You understand?
We have to see each other as a global family. The language of me, nothing with that alien.
No.
It's a global family. Touch one, touch all.
You know, the beautiful vibration, my brethren. I'm just going to play an interlude of music and then I get back, you know, see. But I want to play this beautiful Empress here, you know. You know, Empress Joy Mac, you know, wonderful vibration all the time.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, Lucy. Today, yeah, you're right today.
What they use the black community, because you know you have some buildings in the community that they don't have fund for. But if they involve you, they can touch Europe and get some money from Europe. All them have to tell them so that it's black people, them are going
it's
to
a scheme.
Yeah.
As long as they can invite you and say, these people, we're putting forward a project to help these people. What I don't understand is, like you said, 20-something million went into refurbishing that building. Then where did all that money go? Finished, and then now they sold it onto someone else. And then someone else has now put money into there and now using that facility. So it's almost like they got the fund to build a building that they were going to sell to somebody else.
Rob Peter to pay for.
So someone knew that. So
what they do, there's a building in Southwark called the Sojourner Street.
Okay.
It was an enlisted building.
Okay.
So they have to really
think about it.
And then come with a proposal, you know, get you to put in a project. And when they put in a project, they get the money. Because the building that they have, it wasn't an asset. You know, it was a liability. So from you get it from anything black people going to become assetable.
Yeah.
You know, see, so this is asset that the local authority has. What they do, they run program that they set them up to fail.
Every time.
Thank you.
You know, they set them up to fail. You know, there's another building in the Unity Center on Peckham High Street. Same way. When we used to India play domino, you could have seen the stars then. Nobody fight, nobody fight nothing. You know, then come with some proposal, get it done up quick, and then what them do? Again, set them up to fail. You know, imagine you get letter from the bailiff that they come in, and you never see the letter. The person who in the way you think was the secretary send the letter straight to town hall. And that's what they do. They undermine the community. And now, these two buildings now is church in them.
Yeah.
You understand, you know? And the black council of them, where you run up them mouth and I can talk certain things. They sit down and they don't realize the disadvantage that they done to the young people. We are in the community, blood. We are in the community from way back and see all of these come true. You know, see, some of these councils are going to do in 4 years. Sometimes I have a chance of them can continue. So that means that we are there seeing more than them. They don't come to us with a program. They go, they bring everything in at the church and want us to come in there now. To come beg. You know, see, to come beg in a certain structural name. What I'm saying that they use the community.
Always.
You understand? You know, they use the community in Sadok, they use it in Harringate, they use it in Birmingham. Look on the Muhammad Ali Center. That Muhammad Ali gives to the black community in Birmingham.
Okay.
I think now it's an Indian temple.
What?
You know, see, and this is...
How can that be so when it was bought? This is what I'm saying.
But look on the recreation center in Brixton.
Yeah, what's happening?
Where Muhammad Ali give money towards.
Yeah.
You know? Can we have access to it now? These are the things that I want to tell you. And we have these little black councillors and sit. But what I'm saying, Bridget, and to afraid to see it, right? We have this white cat that's interrogating these black rats. And these black rats is afraid to put a bell on the white cat neck. So then get people like me, you jammers, and when we go and pin the bell on the cat neck now, then they are comfortable. So what they do afterward, they make sure that you end up in a prison.
Of course.
A lot of our liberating brothers and sisters, either in a mental institution or in prison.
Or some paedophile thing or something like that. Because you have to understand, the media is their legal department. Yeah? If we want to despise or kill a man, all we need to put a story out there. True or not, doesn't matter. And the police are working for us. So the man's going to go to the same people that put him in prison to argue his case. And they said, but we put you here. Why are we going to let you go? You're subversive. You're creating problems for us outside. As you said at the very beginning, you don't appreciate that you're at war because they made you comfortable. They gave you all the things that they seem to have given everyone else, and you don't realize that they're going for your kids. There's a saying, there's no time for the young black man. There's no. He's not supposed to get old. He's not supposed to have anything when he's older. They're actually systematically attacking him now. So when his credibility comes in 20 years' time, he has no credibility. He has no people in position of authority. And those black faces with white agendas are going to tell Ryan and say, you're one of them. One of them that them schools created. Because them schools created those children.
It's true.
They created them like that.
All right.
And that is very terrible, like, I'll be honest.
Oh, okay. I forgot the brother was how did you do that?
I'm from my voice like that.
Until Saturday, yeah? Don't freak me out now. Leave it till Saturday, man.
What about patient? Yeah. They call it a people of false hope in a land of false promise. You know? You remember boyhood to manhood? Where are they now? Couple years ago they was #1 on the charts. Where are they now? Cause the funding gone, blood. You understand? So they're gone in the wind. You know? And these are the things that pass through us, you know. We help set up these things, you know.
Of course.
And when they get funding, they said, no, you're a runaway train, we can't have you around here. This is what happened to us in the community.
You raise a high, and when you're there, they pull away the funding.
Yeah.
A planned thing. They give you what you want until you're separated from your community. Then they just shut you down.
You know, look what they're doing to Bridge Park.
Yeah.
Them places are blazing at the 90s and all of them things. And look what they do, because they have more than moved to it. Yeah, and they use us.
But Dr. Aboo, Edison, Jammers, and one thing I have to bring in the arena, when we go for funding, any group that goes out, you cannot rely on the source of funding money alone. You have to think of your project to have another stream of income to back up, because really funding is, to me, I look at it, it's just like to boost your idea. You should already be, you know, in control of what's happening. The funding should just make your project easier. But if your whole amount of the economics is based on funding, you will fall. That's my look on it. Another thing that I've noticed that, and I want to bring into the arena, and a lot of people, I think I heard it on the Sisters program before, and I'm listening Galaxy, is that we seem to be going, these Eastern Europeans, they come here, they got our jobs, they're getting this and that. You know what? We have to realise that one of the things that we should be using and learn from is strategy. When we come with a strategy, now these people will come, I personally believe their strategy is that they're going to get, the Conservative, they'll have someone in the Conservative, in the Labour Party, they'll have some, they realise that we can put our people and place them in the positions to control them. The next thing that I see, we should be doing the same thing, but the people that we put in those positions has to be accountable to the community. That's what the problem is. Everybody seems to do the, we get them there, but then they don't seem to be accountable. We have to realise in politics, we have to realise, get these people that want to be prospective MPs and councillors to be accountable to the community that's voting for them. And economically, I think the sister spoke about that before.
Yeah. The community in London is the victim. You've got to make women accountable. Don't just say, it's a rise, because council, you need to check in every movement. How is it being accountable to the community? What are the checks and balances? what are the things that in place that he's doing? You need to make Dwayne, the executive, accountable.
That's why he's going. That's why he's going independent, because all the other rest of the dance to the party tune before they do anything. The truth can tell you, you know.
The situation, he will feel complacent now that he said right. But the council, he would no longer think that he needs to be made accountable to the community that put him there.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone he come across, I like that with him. You understand? And this is what we have to, because I remember the days when councillors used to come and sit in the pub, the Warmer Castle, and give us certain information. You understand? You know. But today they don't do it, blood, because they think that they are better than. These are the positions that we are facing now. When the people that they are supposed to represent you, how can you feel that you're better than the people that you represent? You can't feel that way.
Yeah, but when they go into that office for that interview, for that job, they've got to be given, certain questions. Where's your loyalties like? Are you prepared to do this? Are you prepared to do that? Because we can find someone who will do what we want to say if you want this position. So it's based on your personal ego to determine if you feel that position is something that you can do, irrespective of looking after your community. And you know what you're saying about the Eastern Europeans and people like that? They've come over here with a purpose, and they're hungry, and they want to move forward, and they want to create. So this is where we are still complaining, but we're expecting. They're not asking for anything. They're going about and doing what they need to do. Don't get me wrong, if they get social and all that kind of thing, but they've got the front to go and ask. Could we go to another country and have the front to ask for any sort of housing or anything, they'll slap us out.
I just
They'll
want to
take us out. Go
their
on.
mind is still in their homeland. They're coming over here, but their mind is still in their homeland.
What do you call
That's
it?
the difference.
Economic terrorists,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
They come along.
Economic migrants.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Terrorists.
Well, they come and they terror the country. They take what they want out of it and go. I've got no problem. If a man works hard for what he does, it's that. But don't man work hard at complaining and not do anything about it.
It's very interesting you say that. I said to myself, I'm not going to moan about the Eastern Europeans and the Turkish and all, but I find it absolutely amazing, right, that I could walk down Green Lanes in Haringey and see a kebab facing another kebab facing, like there'll be about 10 major kebab shops, and they're economically, they're there. So for some reason I think, then I look at the Polish, and then I think, hold on a minute, no disrespect to the black community, we're doing cultural markets.
You see,
I can't figure that out, and I'm saying, hold on a minute, we could say we were here before them, but I can't understand why we're still doing the little market store thing. No disrespect to anyone who has a market store. Huh?
because you see,
We're just complaining.
if you look on it, you know, what's going to do gap here in Africa, India, the Caribbean? You know where the black community do? You know where the black people do their gap here?
What?
Back into the community and lick with the little grant
Yeah.
from the come in the community and challenge that little man or that little woman what do certain little things inside. And this is what happened. They use up their exercise, their gap here on their own community.
Yeah.
You understand? Sit down there so that they write in a piece on you, and then write one of the most the nasty. If you want to see some nasty writing, go into these college and university and read the thesis of what black people write about black people to get degree. You go and read this. Rise Up Family, what I say? Well, on the corner, let me hear what this brother has said. Rise Up.
This is Aston, yeah?
Yes, Aston. Yeah, Black Father Support Group.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening to the powerful dictation of everybody, and even the callers online now. You know, I'm listening to your powerful talks. You know, and obviously, you know, we are all mindful of what procedures that we need to do to make a change, right, for our community, right? Because we are all, every one of you who are there right there in the studio, and those who are online, or on the call, are activists. They're all activists, you understand? But at the same time, one of the processes that I'm identifying is that we need to be active in our voice in the councils, right? The political board days, even as an independent, right?
Yeah.
So, is there any actions that any of you have taken, right, to make that happen?
Yeah. I'm supporting those who are running in the council because sometimes the supporting is good enough for you. You know, if you're doing something, if you come to me and say, Aboo, you know, I would like to be the superintendent of police for the community, I would support you, blood. I'd rather use the superintendent in the community than somebody else. You know, see it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when you use our children to go to school and all of them things, and somebody is coming to your community, come be superintendent, and all of these things. So if we have to invest in our own self and encourage that, you know. But what I'm saying that, you know, those that come and say that they're going certain place higher, we have to hold them that then keep them word. You understand? Yeah, they keep the word, blood. It's painful. It's painful when you give your all to these people, and when you go to them to get something, but you get nothing from them. You know, and I can see the frustration in the young people. You know, the reason why I'm not frustrated anymore, because through experience, you know, If you don't, if when I was young like them, I would lash out. I used to lash out lots of ways, but I realize now that's different way of doing it. But if I never lash out in a them way, they will take liberty of you, like, you know, see. So you realize now where you even have to even be careful now because them take it out by your children.
Yeah. Because that is what they're systematically. There was a brother there who mentioned that individuals coming from the Brighton area and getting funding. The Hackney area, I think it was. Right?
Well, Haringey.
Haringey.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what I've noticed, right, that obviously, you know, there's a certain group of people which is living in the Brighton area, right, and they come to the city area and they're looking to establish themselves as a community in the London area, right? So they're looking to like the Hoxton or those areas, right? Okay. And what they are doing, they are establishing and gathering information, right, so that they can actually infiltrate into the community in that way. Because even as